Yo, check. What is good, people? It is the KOA podcast on a Friday afternoon, almost a Friday night. What is good with y'all? Apologies for the wait. We had some technical difficulties, but we're here today. Hopefully, you guys can enjoy the podcast tonight with us. We got some shows to get into: Lazarus, Rocka's Ladies Modesty, Apocalypse Hotel, and everybody's favorite, Future Diary. If you missed last podcast, Ranger Reject was unfortunately killed. So we are not talking about Ranger Reject anymore. Which, I mean, it makes the podcast more concise. Look on it on the bright side.
Yeah. Sorry about that, everybody. Well, not me. It was more Quantum Fiber that decided to shit the bed yesterday and have a whole fucking countrywide outage. It wasn't just me, it was everything right before everything happened. So I was just like, fan-fucking-tastic. So apologies. Happy belated Juneteenth. Yeah, that's what happened yesterday. We were gonna celebrate Juneteenth, but happy belated. And we got some wonderful stuff in here today. This is the King of Anime podcast. Subscribe if you're new. Give us a like. It helps with the algorithm. And we do this every week. Sometimes we don't go on time, but whenever we don't go on time, we make up for it. Follow us. I dropped the links in the chat for our Blue Sky so that you know when we do go live, and our Patreon. Content that you don't see anywhere else other than exclusively on Patreon. Oh, and did I mention it's only $1? That is a steal.
We gotta. I'm thinking next week we gotta get together for. We said the next one's going to be Shrek, right?
Yeah, I would be down for Shrek.
Well, yeah, we gotta.
Shrek.
Yeah, we gotta. We got to get C together for that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll message him because I'm almost positive he would love that.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people that have been clamoring in his Discord wanting a Shrek podcast, it's gonna be a dream come true now.
I think we should do. I think we should do an installments like one. I really just want to do 1 and 2, to be honest.
Yeah, I like those.
Yeah. But we'll cross that bridge. But I definitely want to start thinking about that for next week.
Sure.
All right, guys. You know, I've been playing Elden Ring for a long time, and that game has me in a bit of a fit. So, you know, I'm thinking with this podcast, there's usually a segment in it that uplifts me and gets me out of that funk. So I'm wondering if EA has.
I definitely have that. I have something that'll never give you the blues. Now let's get ready for the KOA.
It's Miracle!
The Crepustorm says this is the first time KOA has been on the Friday. I feel like we've done it once before.
I feel like we've done it, once or twice before.
Yeah, because when we first started originally, I think our day was Saturday. If I'm
Saturday.
Not mistaken.
It was definitely a Saturday when we originally did this. Then it kind of like went from Saturday to Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Then it like moved and evolved into Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, we're just all over the place here at KOA. But okay, I got some news here. News. No, it's not on the doc, but I have it here on the phone here. Solo Leveling is the most watched anime ever on Crunchyroll.
That doesn't really surprise me.
Doesn't surprise me either. That is a little, for all you Solo Leveling fans out there, I still haven't watched it yet. I still want to watch it just to see what all the hype is about. That is big news for all you Solo Leveling fans out there. One anime that's near and dear to my heart, Vinland Saga. The manga is actually finally ending. You talked about it last week, how you heard rumors about it. It is now confirmed. July 25th. It is ending, and it is an end. I guess this was something that was going on for 2 decades.
20 years. 20 years.
Insane.
Yep.
But yeah, it's the end of an era. Oh my gosh. Here's a shock of the week. Berserk will have a new chapter next week.
I haven't heard anything about Berserk. I forgot who's. I think it's one of the assistants who's continuing with Berserk, because Kentaro Miura left a lot of, like, I guess, plans or ideas for them. So I think it's one of his assistants. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, I haven't heard anything about Berserk in a long time.
Yeah, well, apparently it's coming back next week. New chapter. Get yourselves ready. For fans out there that are that love the Windbreaker series, well, a live action movie has been announced for all of you wonderful fans out there. Oh my gosh, I can never get away from this series. The Bunny Girl stuff. Rascal does not dream of dreaming girl movie is coming to Crunchyroll. Yay. I can't believe they're still making stuff of this.
Did I watch that? Did I watch that anime? I think I did watch that anime.
The first 3 episodes were the only thing worth a damn. Everything else was just a train wreck.
Let me see. Did I watch this? Oh, I did watch this show. Yeah. I watched the first season of it. I didn't watch anything past it because I know there was like movies and other stuff.
Yeah, it's still going after all these years. It's absolutely insane. Great news for you panty and stocking fans out there. The new series airs on July 9th.
Oh, damn. That's soon.
Yep. The brand new panty stocking and garter belt. And I think that's what it's called. It's called New Panty Stocking with Garter Belt. I think that's the 2nd season. Yeah, it's coming out July 9th.
I don't know if it's going to be I don't know if it's going to be simuldub. So like with Lazarus, but we I feel like we had to watch it dubbed.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, we gotta watch it dubbed. You think Chris Sabat's gonna come back as Garterbelt?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because the character, he's a black guy, so it's just like I think I saw an actual clip where like Christopher Sabat was going through all of his like voices and he was doing them, and then like I think he went to Garterbelt and he was like, I don't know if I'm gonna come back to do that voice.
I mean, he should. I don't think anybody. If anything, the character design is more offensive than than the white guy playing him. Like that's what's really the issue, not him.
Right. And I thought he did a good job, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, Chris Sabat's just got such a unique voice where he just, I don't know, I thought he did a really good job with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trayvon's here. Hello, Trayvon.
What is good?
Summer season's going to be stacked. I'm not watching Panty and Stocking till we get the dub.
Yeah.
I mean, very much it might have to be that way. I mean, they did the same thing with the new Holo Wolf series. They brought back the same people. They have to do the same. They gotta bring back Monica. They gotta bring back I forget the other, Jamie Markey and Christopher Sabat.
Yeah.
And that's what they gotta do. And it'll be perfect. It'll be perfect. But other than that, there was like some announcements for other series that were coming out, and they have a date for them, but they were like Shield Hero. Nobody cares about that. Season 4. So that's pretty much the news. I did see that they were also going to show a new trailer for the new Demon Slayer coming out here pretty soon. That's coming out, I think,
the movie.
Next week.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to that movie. I'm so hyped for that movie. I definitely, because it's going to be a trilogy of movies. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do.
I wish it wasn't broken up like that because
they're milking it.
Yeah, because it's just like Demon Slayer is going to last way longer than it should have now. It's going to go into what? If they do one every year, which I don't even know if they'll do that, but at best, it's going to end at like 2028.
28, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So that's kind of crazy. That series is very short. I think the manga is like under 200 chapters or like right there. It is not a long series at all. So like it's going to look great and people are going to like it, especially in movie form. But I wish it wasn't broken up like that because I just think the wait is way too long.
Yeah, Ufu Table is going to make it look spectacular. And I think that's kind of what... And honestly, I don't think they would have split it up into 3 if it wasn't for Mugen Train. Because Mugen Train made a shit ton of money. That's why they're turning it into a trilogy. It probably would have just been one movie. Hell, they probably would have turned it into a final season, and that would have been that. But they know what they're doing. They're milking it, and they're going to get the money back for it.
Trayvon, the movies are going to be canon. They're going to effectively end the series. So
if that's the case, it will be 7-8 years between the end of the manga and the end of the series.
Yeah,
the anime.
Yeah. Which is crazy.
Yeah, insane. But that's all the news we got for the week. Not really much other than a few things. Some shows are ending. Some new ones are beginning. We are slowly getting into our summer season, y'all, which is crazy. So, yep, summer. And yeah, summer's going to be pretty stacked. First summer in a long time, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, because when's the last summer that we enjoyed? Usually summer's the because it used to be where fall used to be really bad for us, but summer always used to be really like whatever. Because I think our best seasons were either winter or spring. Sometimes interchangeable. Because winter we had like Attack on Titan. Odd Taxi
Spring, I
was
feel like-
spring, I feel.
I feel like spring always had the hits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we had Killer Tuesday, Odd Taxi, Fruits Basket.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had a lot of good stuff spring, but summer is just always odd. What did we have last year this summer? Did we have Fable?
I feel like last year we had Oshinoko, and that was all right.
Yeah.
You know. But I think we did Fable. Pretty sure.
I think Fable went into the summer season since it was like 24 episodes.
That's a show that I wish would get a second season, but I'm pretty sure we're not going to get that season. Let me see. Fable season 2, come on. Fable season 2, is it happening? Google AI says. Really? No, that's a lie. This says right here, the Fable anime is getting a second season or Core 2. The new season has been announced with a new trailer? What? No, that can't be right. That's right. That is definitely cap. They're not coming back with a season 2.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything of the sort.
Yeah, I don't think it's coming back. That Google AI, you're a piece of shit. you were not being honest. Yeah, it's totally coming back, and then it shows the fucking video game Fable.
Trayvon said they're doing the same thing with Haikyuu with making movies instead of season, and that is a travesty because Haikyuu has been condensed because of that method. Like, there's a lot that's being cut out because of that, so a lot of fans are disappointed, myself included. I read Haikyuu as well. That was a really good series. Probably in my top 5 when it comes to sports anime / manga.
Decrepit Storm said last summer had the Fable, Spice and Wolf, Oshinoko, so it was pretty good. So there you go.
Yeah, because the Fable and Spice and Wolf bled into the summer season because it started in the spring, and then the second core went into the summer. So yeah, we had a good time last season, but yeah, summer's historically been like the third best of the seasons. But yeah. This is the first time where I feel like it's going to maybe be the best. Maybe.
Dandadan, Sakamoto Days, Panty and Stocking. Those 3 alone already make it better. So I still haven't watched the latest season of Demon Slayer. Heard it was ass. It wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. It was just a training arc. I mean, it wasn't much, but it was only 8 episodes.
Oh, the latest? Okay, yeah. Oh, the latest season. I mean, it's short.
Right, it's 8 episodes.
I wouldn't call it ass. I would say it's the worst of the Demon Slayer seasons. I think most people would probably agree with that, but I don't think it's bad. I think it's all right.
Yeah. I feel like nowadays spring and fall are the best for KOA, while winter and summer have been hit or miss. Yeah, because fall, when it comes back, season 3 of Spy Family and season 3 of One Punch Man.
Yeah.
That's going to be very interesting.
All right, but it's time to get into these shows. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the setup of the podcast, what we do is we pick shows from the current season, this season being the spring 2025 season, with the shows Lazarus, Rock is a Lady's Modesty, Apocalypse Hotel, and that's it for now. But what we do usually by every third episode or so, if it's 25% of the show, we get together and we decide to kill or pass. Now, normally, with CTAC this year, it will be, a majority rules type of thing. If 2 people would decide to kill a show, then we kill it. If 2 people decide to pass a show, then we pass it. But since it's just me and EA, it has to be a unanimous decision. So for a show to get killed, we both had to agree to kill it. And for a show to pass, just one of us has to say, I want to keep watching it, and we keep watching it. So with that being said, because I think What do we have? We have like
We have one on the Killer Pass, and that's good old lady. Rock is a lady's modesty.
yes. So Rock is a lady's modesty is up for a Killer Pass, which honestly, I think we had to make when it's like 13 episodes. I think we should just get rid of that whole thing at episode 12 because I mean,
but there's that tact OP rule. Tact OP, excuse me. When it comes to that, we have to abide by it.
I mean, I guess that's true. But yeah, so our first show of the night is none other than Shinichiro Watanabe's latest work. And I feel like I could say this now comfortably, I think
Let's hear it.
I think this may be his worst work that I've seen.
Yeah, I'm of that same mindset too. But to say that this is his worst work is like to say, like, I don't know, when Christopher Nolan made the movie Tenet, like it wasn't his best. But overall, the effort was still there.
Mm-hmm.
I just really feel as if, this particular series, and we've brought this up multiple times, and I'll say it again just to reiterate. He needed more time to flesh out the characters. He needed more of that time to have things breathe and, just tell an elaborate story. I honestly feel like they were given a budget. They were told, you have 13 episodes. This is what you're making. This is what you're doing. And overall, try your best. And it's like a mixture of him trying to do what he does best, but at the same time, he's under time constraints. So it's just like, not much he can really do.
I lied to you. I did not know he directed Terror and Resonance. That show was just bad. So no.
Yeah.
That show was just actually bad.
Depending on how this series ends, yeah, either this is going to be better than that or this is going to be worse than that. But yeah, Terror and Resonance, although it's visually beautiful, I honestly feel like it's a series that, that one was just weird. I only saw it one time, and I can't even tell you much about it other than the meme of that one girl with a fucking Sharpay on her head, just speaking the really bad English.
Oh my god!
You're kidding me! Focus on close zoom. It's so bad, and I don't mean to make fun, but it's just like, I don't know. They were trying to make it seem like she was bilingual, but it's obvious that the voice actress that was doing it could barely speak any English. So it just sounded bad, and it was just meme worthy. But yeah, Terror and Resonance was, wow. I would probably say that's his worst one. Not my favorite, but visually beautiful.
Yeah. Well, so for this episode of Lazarus, we have the team up of Doug and Elena, and they go to Pakistan to find EA's favorite character, Popcorn Wizard. As
she didn't say her favorite line.
I think she just said what or huh?
Yeah, she only said like 2 words. Oh, it's whatever her screen name was. It's you, huh? What the hell? And then that was the extent of it. I'm like, thank God.
What's good, Choco?
In there. I may have killed this show.
I thought she was going to say it as soon as she opened the door. I'm not going to lie.
I was thinking it too, and so I'm so glad that she didn't. Oh man! But yes, hello Choco. Welcome on, Mr. Laz is a 6 out of 10 for me. Yeah, I didn't like Kids on a Slope that much either. I liked it overall. I just felt like the ending was incredibly rushed when it came to Kids on a Slope.
And that seems to be it's weird because he has Cowboy Bebop, which a lot of people would say has like one of the best endings, but like his endings are really hit and miss, and I'm starting to figure that out. Like, because you have Cowboy Bebop, which I feel like universally people can agree that's probably like his best ending out of everything that he's made. Samurai Champloo, I thought ended really well.
That was pretty solid.
Yeah. People may have some complaints with it, but I thought it ended really well.
You ever seen Space Dandy?
I have not.
That's another one of his. it's funny because it's considered his, but it's also a collaboration effort because it's a bunch of different artists that do specific episodes, and the art style is different every episode, and the ending makes total sense as to why it is. And I love what they did with the ending, and I thought it was very clever. But that's another good one where I thought it was a pretty solid show that had a good ending.
And then you had Terror in Resonance.
Oh boy.
And then
Not so good.
And then here's the thing, because it's not the actual ending that's bad. It was kind of like the ending arc. Because you got Carol and Tuesday, which started to kind of fall off towards the end, but then it kind of saved itself with the ending, the actual ending.
It was an epic ending.
Yeah. That actually may be one of my favorites now that I think about it.
It's a pretty good one. Trayvon, have you seen all his works? I have, actually. Again, I'm saying that just based off of the ones that I remember. Seeing the Cowboy Bebop, seeing Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, all, season 1 and 2. That's one watch dubbed. That's a really good one. I feel like I've seen just about all of them. Kids on a Slope, I thought was really good up until the ending. Carol and Tuesday, that was one of these shows that we fell in love with on this podcast. Yep. And that was one I picked. So I always hold that one to my heart just because I picked it because it was Shinichiro Watanabe. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I guess let's get into this one, shall we? So Axel and HQ, the epic fight I was waiting on to see. It was not bad. I was expecting a lot more when it came to the fight itself, but I just was not. I guess I kind of hyped myself up for thinking this was going to be a great fight, and it turned out to be very mid. Not gonna lie.
He killed more civil. I just kept thinking to myself, this can't be the Phantom Assassin that they kept hyping up. Because I'm like, he's killing more civilians than he is getting any hits on Axel. And it's not as if, because Axel, acrobat, moving around the place, uses surroundings. We know that. But it was just a lot of decisions he was making that were like, wait, why are you doing this? Like there was a point where this is when Axel's already out of the car, and he's running on a highway, and then he just throws a bomb, or the grenade, not at Axel, but at a car to stop his movement or something. I was like, wait, why did you do that? I think he just wanted to use his grenades.
This guy used more grenades in this fight than he did when he fought the Special SEAL team or whatever the fuck they were. Yeah. I don't think he used one grenade. All he did was use his knives, and he looked like a badass that whole time. The Shadow Assassin in this one looked like a joke. Like he looked like he was grenade happy.
And that's what confused me about this, because I was like, you guys showed him. And I already knew that Axel was going to do better than those other guys. Sure. I knew that just with how he's able to move and some of the leaps that he can make. But I just felt like HQ got nerfed. Essentially, nerfed.
He 100% got nerfed. He was taking his time killing this guy. He wasn't even he was not even monologuing because he barely talked, but he was just looking down. Any last words before I pull this pen and throw it at you? That wasn't the guy we were introduced to. He was a stone cold killer that was precise and didn't even talk. We didn't get that guy in this fight. And like I said, that's kind of why I was a little upset with the whole fact that I was thinking we were going to get that kind of fight, but what we got instead was just a very mid kind of fight, making mistakes. He kicks a fucking grenade back at him. Don't get me wrong, the shot where he's hanging on the subway dangling and then you see him up above kind of looking down on him, that's a cool shot. That's a really sweet, stellar shot. But it's so goofy because he kicks the grenade back up at him, and that they fall to their, not death, but they just fall into the ocean or lake or whatever it is. And I'm just like, oh, okay. well, this isn't as epic as I thought it was going to be.
I mean, yeah, this fight had some of the flair. Like the animation looked good, the choreography was good, but it just didn't have the substance. Like, if I think about some of the fights that we got, just referencing Shinichiro Watanabe's work, Samurai Champloo, Cowboy Bebop. I'm not going to spoil anything for people who haven't seen those shows, but there was fights at the end that meant something that was kind of personal to these characters. Not just it being a spectacle, but also just having some emotional weight to it. This fight already was kind of on a back foot because we're with this assassin guy who's just, paid to kill Axel, doesn't really have any connection that we know of. Which I mean, I guess that's not true considering something that happened during the fight that made, in my opinion, just made this like trash. Because out of nowhere, there's a point in the fight where,
oh my god, you got a fucking wing.
This was some Batman versus Superman shit. Where's how do you know that name? Martha.
Maria. Or Martha, not Maria.
How do you know that name? He just looked at Axel's necklace and then he started freaking the fuck out. We don't know what the hell this means, mind you. We don't know what this means. We do not know this character.
But we got like a mini backstory for some reason.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to have a backstory for a character you didn't build up to at all. It does not work. It just feels jarring because we break the fight for him to have a psychotic breakdown, which we have really, really no context to. They try to tell this short story in like 2 minutes, and it doesn't work. It really does not work at all. It just feels like a cop out, so he doesn't kill Axel when he has the opportunity to.
Right. Because they both end up like Axel throws a machete at him, sticks it in the side of his leg. Assassin throws a harpoon, gets him right through the gut. Mm-hmm. And then Chris comes and saves the day at the tail end, missing every shot that she does. Because, she's, a stormtrooper in training. Just the worst. Wasn't she a part of these Russian assassins or whatever? I don't know. But
she
didn't seem like when she was in the club, she was shooting every motherfucker. No problem.
In the first episode, they show how good she was to shoot. Now, granted, she was missing on purpose, like the first episode. But if you remember, she was on the ground level shooting at Axel all the way on the top of the building, giving, basically directing him in a certain way. So like she's a really good shot. I guess he's just too fast. HQ's just too fast.
Yeah. He's got wounds and a chunk missing out of his leg. He didn't even expect to like see anybody there, and all of a sudden, just can't fucking make any kind of shot. Just unbelievable. Griffith Storm says maybe this assassin is like King in One Punch Man, and he actually hasn't done shit.
It was somebody else. He just says he's the Phantom Assassin to get money.
Yeah, and then he sees the wing and then fucking freaks the fuck out for no reason. How do you know that? And Axel's like, what? No, what? What the fuck are you talking about?
I guess they're going to explain that next episode, but that was just a point in the episode where I just felt, all right, we're going to bail Axel out with this, and we're going to give like this poor... We're going to do this character profile of HQ without any real build up to it. It just happened subtly.
Yep.
But yeah, that's one segment of this, because there were like a couple different stories told in this one episode, and I don't think it worked because the next part is Hirsch and her whole thing. She goes to talk to Dan Schneider. Yeah.
Schneider.
And
do it.
And she basically just calls him out on all his shady doings. She's like, yeah, I know you did this and that. And Dan Schneider's like, do you have any proof? What are you talking about?
I used to own the Redskins.
But yeah, he's playing, he's acting stupid. And then Hirsch gets detained, which she knew was going to happen, which made me go.
She left a note.
Yeah, she left a note to Abel, telling them that I did this, but it made me go like, okay, why did you do this though? You knew this guy was evil. I guess you wanted to try to solve it diplomatically, but I'm like,
I just thought he was going to be honest.
Yeah, I was just like, what was the point of is that? I feel like they did that to show that she really cares about this team to the point that she would sacrifice herself. But I'm like,
I don't know. It seemed kind of dumb.
Yeah.
I feel like there could have been a different way they could have went about it. Because she goes there, unarmed, no way to protect herself, whatever. I have proof. And Dan Snyder is in charge of this sort of department. She knew she was going to get caught. She probably knew that was going to happen, which, I don't know. Maybe Abel's going to, like, pull something out of his ass, and he's going to, like, call up a favor or something, and then they're going to get her free somehow. But I don't know. It's just... It definitely seemed like it didn't really add much to the whole situation.
No, not at all. Yeah, so that was whatever, I guess.
That was the thing.
Yeah, and then we went to the whole Doug and Elena thing, which that also felt
barely any kind of camaraderie or anything.
Yeah, I already said this before. We were at a point of the show where I was excited for a lot of these different character dynamics because I wanted to see how certain characters were going to talk to one another. And Doug and Elaine were actually one of the dynamics that I wanted, given that they're both kind of introverted. They're more to themselves than, outgoing like Axel or Chris or even Leland. So I was like, I wonder how these two will talk to each other. And then we barely get any of it. Doug does ask Elaine what she would do, once this whole thing was over. And she said that she wanted to get a burger.
And she wanted a Big Mac.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it alluded to.
Yeah,
without the copyright.
and then she doesn't actually like those burgers, but sometimes she has a craving for it. And I'm like, is she pregnant?
She must be. Well, she was also like apparently sick.
Yeah,
she had the flush red cheeks all of a sudden. It's like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm totally fine. Let's see, 101. Yeah, that's a normal fucking temperature when you're healthy.
Yeah, so I'm like, what is this sickness thing that? What is that exactly? Because that happened in the episode and they kept alluding to it. So I'm like,
I'm almost thinking, because remember, people were starting to get sick off of Hopna. I'm thinking maybe that's starting to happen to her. But why she wouldn't say anything to anybody, that's the part that confused me. I'm fine. Okay. It's okay to say that you're sick. The whole world's fucking going to shit. Everyone's dying. I mean, she could have at least been like, how are you doing? Your cheeks are a little flushed. Yeah, I'm a little bit sick. I'm just going to be upfront and honest with you. I got a fever of 101, but trust me, you got to let me do this. Let me find Popcorn Wizard, and we're going to get this taken care of. But no, she just wants to lie about it because, I don't know, maybe she thought Doug would have protected her in some way. I don't know. They barely have a connection, and then, like, as soon as they're together, Doug's like, we got to split up.
Yeah,
it just...
he does this whole self-sacrifice thing, and I went, "What?"
Dude jumped in front of a car and then died like the shark in SpongeBob.
Why did you do that? I think he just wanted to die. Did he think the car was actually going to be like, okay, wait, let's think about this.
Wait. Doug's in the way. We should slow down. Let's stop. I'm not going to run him over. You gonna run?
Like, cause he ends up shooting the tires and then exploding the car anyways. I'm like, okay, but you could have did that without getting hit by the car.
Right. And then he gets fucking hit with the barrel of the gun by the one dude, and then he jumps out and does the "come get some" and gets ran over, but then he shoots out the tire, and then the guy. He explodes and falls off a fucking cliff.
He must have thought that guy in the car was Batman and the Dark Knight. Where Joker's like, hit me,
hit me. Yeah, he really thought he was invincible at that point. He's just like, this guy's not gonna fucking hit me, and he hit him.
Oh my god, that was just like, what was the point of that? The girl store said, I like how Hirsch just told them a man was coming. They could have given a letter to anyone. I thought the same as that thing because I went, why didn't Hirsch just tell him a description? I mean, Leland already knew who Abel was. So at the very least, she could have just told Leland, especially because they were leaving Leland in charge of things. Well, that not at that point, but she could have told Leland, hey, Abel's coming. Give this to him.
Yeah.
Why be secretive about it?
Good thing he didn't give the letter to that reoccurring character cop and then just like gave it to him. And he's just like, what am I supposed to do with this?
What if DoorDash just came by? They're just like Axel ordered DoorDash and forgot about it. He just comes by, just here you go.
Oh, is this my tip?
Yeah, let a tip. Well, thanks.
I don't know what this means, but thank you, I guess.
The Abel comes.
And then Abel comes
10 minutes later.
I was supposed to get a letter. Oh shit! I gave it to the DoorDash. No, you doomed us all.
Oh my, yeah, but there's a lot going on that didn't lead to anything. The point. But.
Pretty much, because really the only thing that there was a fight. Nobody died.
Mm-hmm.
Hirsch interrogates Schneider in whatever. She gets captured. Nothing really comes of that. So really the only thing was with Doug and Elena. Elena actually finds Popcorn Wizard through her phone and tracking it, and she's getting sicker and sicker. She finally just bangs on the door. Oh, I found you. And then Old Hardcore comes out and goes, what?
You know what it is?
And that's it.
I feel like we just arbitrarily had to have everybody in like a perilous situation. Like everybody has to be in danger, with the exception of Leland for whatever reason. It's like we have Axel who, has the big fight, and then we have Doug who self-sacrifices himself on his Chaozu gimmick. Elena is dying, maybe from the Hopna thing. Maybe she's pregnant. We don't know. and then Hirsch gets captured, but she kind of walked into it willingly. So it's everybody has to arbitrarily be in danger, with the exception of Leland, and I guess Chris as well. But yeah, I don't know why that's the case.
I don't either.
Like some of this was a lot of this was avoidable.
Yeah. All I know is we're T-minus, was it 5 days or 4 days?
It's 5 days left.
5 days left until the world goes to shit, and we are T-minus 2 episodes to get this resolved, and it's not looking good, Satsuki.
It's not.
It's not looking good. I love you, Shinichiro Watanabe. I will always put you up there with some of the greats when it comes to legends in the anime industry. But again, I wouldn't, and this is probably me being a little favoritism when it comes to this, I wouldn't say, who's to say? I don't know if this is a Shinichiro Watanabe thing, if it was a budget thing, if it was the fact that he could only tell a story with a certain amount of episodes. The only thing I could possibly think of is maybe secretly we're going to have a second core or a second season. But I don't know if that's going to happen, to be honest. Because if we do get that, I'm curious to see where they're going to go with that, if they do.
Yeah.
So, and if they do it that way, maybe all the problems from the first half could be told in the second half and like resolved. I don't know, but something tells me it's not going to continue after this. I think this is it.
Yeah. Well, that about covers everything. Yeah, I think you summed it up. It's just not looking too good right now. But I mean, at this point, we're pretty much in for the long haul.
Well, maybe if the next episode is the assiest ass of show, because next week could be a killer pass. Who knows? I mean, we could pull attacked OP Destiny.
I feel like we have to watch it, but we'll see. We'll see.
At this point, it's like you gotta kind of commit to it. It's like it's one more stinking episode. But Satsuki, we still haven't watched that single episode of Love Live. Nijigasaki, season 2. We still haven't committed to that.
I mean,
I still haven't even seen it. Have you seen it?
I don't remember. It's been that long.
To this day, I've never seen it.
I don't remember what happened in that season. I just remember it being a real big fall off.
I know the first season was so good because every character had its own story and it was very interesting. But then second season, I don't know. There was like a character that was trying to be part of the band for some reason. I think that's what happened.
Yeah, they were introducing more characters to be a part of it, and I was like, all right, this collective is way too big. Kirby Storm said, I would be surprised if there was more because they would have to spend the whole core on just 5 days or go past the 30-day deadline, which will, like, because this team is only here for the Hopna thing. So, like, what reason would this team need to be? What? They would have to change the whole story, basically, if they wanted to go past these 2 episodes.
Well, that's enough of Lazarus. Next show we have tonight is Rock is a Lady's Modesty, episode 12. This is indeed a Killer Pass episode. I think this one pretty safe. What about you, Satsuki?
Yeah, I feel this was this my favorite episode? It could be.
We got the evil boy band to go against the sweet innocent girl band.
Oh my god.
And I mean we knew that they were going to be the villains. When we heard the previous episode, Battle of the Bands, and then we saw that they were introduced at the tail end after the credits, I'm like, well, gee, I wonder who's going to... Yep, there they are. The boy band. And their band name is Bacchus.
Mm-hmm.
It almost sounds like Baka. So what is it, like Idiots? Is that the band Idiots?
Doesn't that have to do with, like, drinking or something? Bacchus. Yeah, Bacchus, Roman name for... Cannot say that. The Greek god of wine. Yeah. I knew it had something to do with drinking, just because, like,
okay,
I've heard it twice, and like, there's a character in Fairy Tale named Bacchus, and his whole thing is like, the drunken fist. So, yeah,
I gotcha. Okay, so yes, we are introduced because you can't just have an opposing band just be. You're like, oh, hi, my name is such and such. Nice to meet you. We're going to play against you in the Battle of the Bands. No, they go through, they throw people out of the way. Alice is get the fuck out the way.
It was so unnecessary, too. Alice is just like, fuck out of here, bitch.
I know.
What?
And it's like, we get it. They're the opposing band, but why do we always have to go to these extremes, especially in these shows where it's just like, they're evil.
Yeah.
Can't they just be different?
It was definitely overdone. Like, because in comparison, like, to the band that they play in the Battle of the Bands, Shiro's old band, like, they weren't assholes. Like, there was friction because
they were a little handsy.
Well, yeah, they are kind of criminals, but that's beside the point. They weren't this was overdone with them being assholes. It's like, all right. Because first and foremost, we already got the Yuri bait show, right? And it's like, we don't really have dudes that exist within this anime. And the first time we get any men in the show, they are horrible. Yes. They are awful.
You could say this is a very misogynistic show.
Yeah, it's so... Just use that again. It's so gay that it's actually misogynist.
Yeah, in this case, they're literally misogynist, just shoving women and telling them they suck and that they should be in the kitchen. You know, just all around, just evil. Like they set the tone.
The Griffin Store said these YouTubers can form a band. There's no reason KOA can't be one. That was the thing too. That okay, so they had
500 followers.
They said, I forgot the number. It wasn't 500. But here's my thing. Because they said they had a following on YouTube and everything. I was like, okay, cool. But they were like, yeah, we could easily pull 500 people in here. And I'm like, listen. Because the number that they said that they had on YouTube was just not enough. I want to say let's just say they said 50,000. Whatever. Let's just say 50,000. You are not pulling 500 people like that with that base. You're not going to do it. I think they severely underestimate, like, because people will listen to your stuff. The higher or the more engagement that you need, the less people you'll lose. Or I mean the more people you'll lose. It's like, all right, you have fans that listen to your music. You get a lot of views. Okay, but who's buying your music? It's going to be less people that watched, right? And then, all right, people buy your music. You get a lot of albums, sales, whatever. But who's going to your tours? Who's going to your concerts? It's going to be less people. That's just how it works. It's going to, it's going to be less people down the ladder. So like, okay, you could have that many subscribers. Okay, then you can have that many viewers. Then you're gonna have that many people, like, you know, patrons, your actual fan base. But then the people who are going to actually see you, no way 500. No way 500. Yeah. Mind, I have gone to like these little shows where people who are getting like sometimes 1 million views on one of their songs not pack out a venue. It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah. Unless you become like famous and you're like a household name, it's gonna be real difficult. Like I always use this example. Kendrick Lamar, when he was like just starting out, I think he was going to this place over here in Phoenix. It's called the Marquee Theater. Standing room only, probably fits about like 500 people. He was there and he was kind of like the headliner, so to speak. It was him and some other people. Like, even then, the place didn't sell out. Now, the guy sells out stadiums. Yeah. He could sell out that whole Cardinals stadium because over time, he's just became just this big of a name. And, you know, having 50,000 followers, it's nice. I definitely agree with what you said because, you know, it's easy to like watch something on YouTube. It's another thing to be a super fan, buy the merchandise, go to the actual concerts, and just achieve it. And just, oh man, this is incredible. I love this guy. I love you, Bacchus. I love you. Because at a certain point in this episode, we see who they draw. They draw a lot of females as far as fans. Good for them, I guess. But they're already just like pissed off at the other band just because of the fact that they're female.
Chuckle said the guy band was comically evil. Yeah. So I
pretty much the twirly mustache.
Yeah. I just want to make my predictions right now because I feel like I know how this whole thing is going to end up. So I want to put this on record. And we're going to talk more about the show, but I want to put this out there now. I feel like this is how the next episode will end up. Especially because our band is playing first. I think it's going to be. It's funny I'm referencing this 2 weeks in a row. I think it's going to be a 8 Mile situation. If people have not seen 8 Mile, the last battle, spoilers, I guess, for 8 Mile.
Against the Falcon.
Yeah, against the Falcon. Eminem destroy rap battles a superhero. Makes him change his whole career. But yeah, Eminem is going against, I think his name in the movie is Papa Doc.
Yeah, that's right.
He goes up against him, and Eminem goes first, and destroys him, destroys his character. And after he goes first, the Papa Doc doesn't even perform. I think it's going to be a situation like that with this. And I think this for 2 reasons. One, because our band is going first. Because usually what happens in these situations is our main cast are the ones who have to react to a big they had to push themselves to reach or surpass the foundation that was set before. That's why usually these characters go second or something. It's like you had to follow up a big performance. So because they're going first, that makes me think they're going to get the boy band is going to get destroyed so bad that they're not going to perform. And 2, what they already showed was the boy band isn't that great of performers.
They're average.
Yeah.
They're what would I compare them to? I don't know. Like just kind of like one of your bands of the week where it's just like they sound good, they like play together, but they're cheesy. Mm-hmm. I don't know, whatever cheesy band you could think of and just pull out there. That's what they are.
They're YouTubers turned musicians. They're not
pretty much.
They're not all that great, right? So because of that, I think my whole idea of how the thing is going to go is our band performs and they just go crazy. They go crazy to the point where their fans, especially those girls that were a part of the fan base, and they were like ready to murder Lalisa and everybody else who was with her. Yeah. They're going to change their whole tune and become fans of them now. Like the way they're super fans of the boy band, I think they're going to be super fans of our band and like completely change. Like they're literally, the music is going to be so powerful that they're going to change them into lesbians.
Oh my God. And they're an instrumental band too.
Yeah.
So they're not even going to sing. They're literally going to win them over with the vibrations of them strings and drums and keyboard.
So, and here's another aspect of it. The guy, the manager that's a part of the boy band, they keep mistreating him throughout the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Like
he's going to leave.
They make him like their gopher. Like they're making him get sodas and
Get us our fucking drink.
Yeah. Just throw a paper ball at us. But yeah, they're mistreating him, and he's made it a point that he's kind of infatuated with them. Like he's a fan of them. That's why he does what he does for them, because he just he believes they have star presence. But I think he's also going to turn on them the way I think the girl fan base is, because he's the dude that's recording them. And the boy band already said, if we lose, we're just not going to upload it. But he's the one with all the power. So I believe they're going to lose. And then after they get destroyed, they're not going to want to perform, and they're going to want the video erased. And then the other guy's going to be so infatuated with our band that he's going to be like, hell no, I'm not deleting this. I'm uploading this. And they're just going to get embarrassed. That's how I see this whole thing playing out.
Okay. You ready for my prediction?
I'm ready.
Because that's a pretty good one. That's pretty solid. That's pretty good. Next week is basically the last episode, right?
No, it's 13 episodes. So,
but this is 12.
This is episode 12?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
That's what I'm saying. This is a killer pass episode, so this is it.
Fuck. This is episode
So-
12?
Yeah, I swear to God.
You're fucking lying to me.
No, I swear to God, it is. That's why I put killer pass.
This is episode 12?
So that means next week it's over.
I could
Last episode, then it's over.
I mean, yeah, I could see it in the next episode. I thought this whole time this was episode 11.
Yeah, it's 12. Sorry.
Fuck.
I think the girls are going to rock their socks off. They're definitely going to perform with a lot more passion than they did the first time around. Oh, I agree with you. All the girls are going to be negative, but then they're going to, as you put it so eloquently, become moist in the loins and become lesbians right then and there because Tina knows how to jiggle. And everybody's going to be like, these boy bands, fuck them. I like these ladies.
They're wearing appropriate outfits or more appropriate outfits this time.
Yeah. They're wearing the collars around their necks now. They're more uniform. They have different colors to match their hair colors and stuff. I think the boy band still wins, but they'll earn the respect. Yep. I still think they win. And here's why I say that. Because they're going to think they won. Oh, but they're going to upload the video thinking that they did better than them. They're going to get a following because they upload that video. And then once they upload that video, it's going to be one of those things where it's just like, it kind of like backfires. And then you'll see more fans of whatever this band's name is, our band, I guess. And they're going to be like, oh my God, you're so great. Can we have your autograph? Oh, you're so, whatever. And then they're starting to get more traction, and that'll get them on the momentum to go to Fiji Rock or Rock Fiji, whatever it's called.
Okay.
But,
so
yeah,
you're essentially saying they lose the battle, they win the war.
Yeah, they lose the battle because they're still a particularly new band. And I do agree when it comes to, I don't know who said it in this episode, when it comes to people that sing in bands versus just instrumental, they're at a huge disadvantage.
Yeah.
And I agree with that.
Yeah, Shiro said it. It was a really, this is why I like Shiro being a part of the group, just because she'll tell it how it is when sometimes they don't see the picture, the bigger picture. Because Elisa was like really hyped during this because the boy band disrespected them and was like, have fun with your rock music.
Yeah, right. But yeah, I do believe that they'll lose the battle, but they'll win the war in the long run. Like, it'll essentially be they'll earn the respect of the fellow ladies, the fans. They won't, if you have mega fans, you're always going to have fans no matter what. Unless for some reason Bacchus does something to cancel themselves within that same vein, they're not going to leave them. It's essentially just going to be, because, the ladies will be like, no, just don't give them anything. Just don't say anything. But then they'll cheer. But they'll still love the other band, even though they won the respect. Upload that video and get that following. That's my guess. I could be completely wrong. You could be right. Guess we'll have to wait and see. Next week is the final episode.
Yeah. Okay. But just talking about some more things that happened. I really like Lalisa this episode. She kind of just reminded me of why she's my favorite character, because she is super expressive and is open with their feelings when she feels that she's allowed to express them, at least. But yeah, when she got disrespected by the boy band, she was just out of her mind, just screaming and yelling at everybody. But I really like that conversation she had with the venue owner, because the venue owner was like instigating low key, where she was like, you guys are kind of nobodies, but I mean, you could steal their fans if you're good enough. And then Lisa was hyped and was like, yeah, all right, I'm gonna steal their fans.
Steal the fans.
So yeah, I thought Lisa throughout this episode was pretty great.
Yeah, she stood her own. She did something crazy at the tail end. I will save that for later. because she came off the top turnbuckle. But other than that, yeah, it was. Yeah, she was pretty great this episode, convincing everybody to kind of like get together. She really became the leader of the band in this episode.
Yeah, well, okay. Before I get to that, because that was like a big part of the episode. Can we talk about Alice and the way she got
manhandled?
I was going to say something worse than that. Let's go with manhandled or woman handled.
What part? I mean, you're not talking about when she got knocked over, did you?
No. Because when she, they see her, that being Lisa and everybody else. There's a scene where everybody, with the exception of Lalisa, are like doting on her as if she was a child.
Oh,
like she's sitting.
Okay, yeah, she wasn't manhandled. She was lady handled.
she was sitting in Tina's lap. Ota was like trying to poke at her cheek, and then she was like, "Here's some candy." I was like, "She's not a toddler." What the fuck is going on?
I was waiting for Alice to say, "I need an adult. I need an adult."
Like she's a year younger than these guys, if I'm not, or a year or two younger than these guys. I'm like
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
that was something.
Yeah, because Lisa's she's a first year in high school, and Alice is currently in middle school. I don't remember if she was a second year or third year, but either way, the age gap between them is not that big enough for her to be sitting in Tina's lap like she's a little kid.
Help me. Those are the words she's looking at, Lisa, mouthing it. Just me, get the bitches off me.
You're in a Yuri bait show. You just got to take it.
Yep. She's got to take it, and she sure was taking it. But Shiro, don't you know the you don't ever give candy to kids, because kids will learn not to ever take candy from strangers. Come on now, you looking like a creep.
They had to give Shiro something to where she was also doting on her, but she had to do it in a cold Shiro way. So she's like, "Here, take this."
Yeah, because she couldn't just flat out be a masochist and say, "Abuse me, Otaha." She just had to. There's some candy.
Yeah, she has to be. She has to maintain that cool demeanor at all times. So
yes, because she's always stone cold cool. Yeah. So she gets abused. Then she's really just putty in Otaha hands.
Yeah.
But yeah, poor Alice. Alice really got, I guess, like a huge appreciation for her sister in this episode. Like, she liked her before, but I think now she's a ride or die. You know, she loves her sister now, especially at the very end, when you know what happens, and she, Lalisa gives her a hug and says, "Thanks for believing in your big sister." Oh,
yeah. Alice got to see up close and front Lalisa's passion and her true self, which she's been clamoring for all this time. Choco said something when he was watching this show. I do agree with the sentiment of what he said. He said that he wished that there was like some more moments in between that moment that you referenced with Lalisa and Alice, because I feel like it wasn't completely earned, just because it's what I've been saying. I wanted Lalisa to have more of a connection to Alice, with her just being real with her. And, you don't have to be as crazy as you are when you're rocking out, but you could drop the whole facade of I'm trying to be an elegant, I'm always nice all the time around her, especially when she's been asking you to just be real with her. So I wish I wish her guard would have been dropped prior to that moment, because there was an opportunity for it to happen, but she maintained her good girl, big sister persona, and then Alice had to go out of her way to press her and snoop around all this stuff to finally see a semblance of who she really is.
Yeah. Otaha had a moment in this episode where she was going to basically just not perform at the concert.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna lie, that kind of made me scratch my head a little bit, just because of the plain and simple fact, just because I get what they were going with her saying that she likes the passion, she likes to just play with her friends and everything. But isn't this also the same person that said she wanted to do Fiji Rock?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you can't have both. You know what I mean? You can't have your cake and eat it too. You either really want to be passionate and not give a shit what other people, or you want to play at Fiji Rock. You know, you sometimes in order to get to there, you have to do some things in order to make it there. You're not just gonna make it to Fiji Rock and just on just good graces and goodwill and just, yeah, I'm here. You have to kind of work for it.
Well, I think that's the whole paradox with her character. It's like, I mean, and that's the paradox with, I think, music in general. It's one of those give and take things where you don't want to compromise yourself, but at the same time, you have to make your music palatable for the audience. So there's like this delicate balance of, all right, I know this works. I know people would like this, and a balance of, I like it. I want to do this. And I think Otaha was, I mean, she compromised after the great speech from
Right.
Lalisa. But
Yeah.
I understand her. I understand her thought process on it, because for her, it's like, all right, you guys are too much thinking of how do we please the audience? How do we win this whole competition, when it's really just supposed to be about the music and us having fun together, collaborating with each other and rocking out. That's all she cares about. I won't say she doesn't care about getting on the big stage or whatever. It's kind of one of those things to where, like you said, she does want to have her cake and eat it too. She wants to be able to perform on a stage like that and go all out, but only if it's on her own terms. So that's the whole paradox of it, because if you want to, get on a big stage like that, you kind of do have to compromise a little bit, whether you know it or not, or whether you're conscious of it or not. So, yeah.
Right. It's like bands or groups or whoever, they can have a certain sound and maybe it's good in like the underground circuit or whatever, but once they get to a certain point in their career, they have to make a radio friendly single, and they have to like put it out there so they can get their name out there. And that's what kind of gets them famous.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what I think about it when it comes to, I don't know, people that start from nothing and then they eventually blow up and get big. And it's like, this was the song that got them famous. So, yeah.
It kind of related to real life. An artist who I feel can kind of relate to this whole thing is Kendrick Lamar, because he has an album which a lot of people consider one of the best rap albums of all time, which is To Pimp a Butterfly. And that album is not radio friendly, is not commercial. But people regard it as one of the best albums of all time. And then he follows that album with Damn, which that had a lot of radio hits, and that was like his most commercial album. But he's a very unique artist in that he's able to fit his messaging and his personality and his direction while still making it commercial and radio friendly. And maybe he didn't want to, because I feel like To Pimp a Butterfly is him not compromising himself whatsoever. And Damn is kind of a compromise, but in a way where it just makes it more accessible for people to listen to, rather than I'm a sell out. You know what I mean? He's not selling out with Damn. It's just that he's making it easier for us to understand and enjoy. And I think that's what Otaha has to learn. But it's an interesting perspective. I like that friction because it didn't feel like friction out of nowhere. Sometimes we have these moments where there's a falling out in the group, and it's like, all right, why did that happen? You know, you get like that, you get like that third act in a movie syndrome, where it's just like, all right, we're doing this, we're doing this.
When they have to argue for no fucking reason, or you know, they become I agree. They have to have that falling action or whatever the fuck it's called, rising. You know, I agree. It's the third act, just bullshit that they like to put in movies. I feel like they were really huge back in the 80s and 90s. They don't really do it as much anymore. A few movies still here and there, but I feel like we're a little past that now because God, that in itself became a trope.
Yeah.
It's like, really? We had to fight at this fucking point? You didn't give a shit when he was killing all those persons, but you know, he moves the car and parks it, doesn't put the toilet seat down. Oh, you went too far.
It's always like an arbitrary way to break up the group that formed for whatever reason. They do it early, and then they get back together at the end, blah, blah, blah. But I thought this was a good way. I thought this was a good reasoning for Otaha to want to bow out initially. And they didn't drag it out because immediately after Lalisa gives her great speech, where she talks about, you know, the last performance, even though nobody clapped for us, she felt like the winner. She was happy with the performance, and she promised to give Otaha a stage to where she could be herself, but they were still going to try to win over the crowd. And I think that's the important part. It's like, again, it's the balance of how do you be yourself, but also be accessible to everybody else. And I think what Lalisa's saying is that she's going to give Otaha the right parameters so she can be herself, so she doesn't have to compromise anything.
Yeah, and I like that they didn't drag it out either. I guess I was initially, when I was annoyed, I thought we were going to go into this part and that it was going to end with them not wanting to perform, and I was going to be real annoyed with that, but I agree with you. She gave that good speech, and Otaha was back in. I'm like, oh, thank God. Thank God we didn't drag that out, because, yeah, Otaha is, she's for the passion, she's for the music, mate, but everything's so commercial. Just, why is everything so commercial? I feel like she would do great in a band like The Clash or something.
I mean, Shiro's like that too, but to a lesser degree, because Shiro is a person who kind of just understands things for what they are, but she still wants to do things her way, you know, because she's the one that gave the perspective. We're at a disadvantage being an instrumental band because they have a singer. That helps, not only because she gave her reason, which is people don't know where to follow, which that is true. That is a very important thing to bring up. But it's also too just that when you don't have something that you can focus on, or in this case, you don't have something to recite, that hurts. You know what I mean? So
a lot.
You don't have anybody. Everybody's just going to have to watch you. And again, like she said, they don't know where to look. They don't really know what to listen for exactly. It definitely hurts, especially because these guys too aren't a rock band. They're pop. They're basically idols. They're a pop band.
They're like J-pop.
Yeah, which
pretty much. I
mean, it's pop music. It's popular music, so that would appeal to the masses more than this type of music. It's literally a complete clashing of styles and ideologies, where one is rebellious and one is pandering to the crowd.
That's a good way of putting it, because yeah, that's pretty much it. Definitely going to be interesting to see what happens next week with the final episode. But yeah, we mentioned before, the ladies, they looking great. They got all dressed up. They got the collars rocking. They got their colors, everything. They look like a uniform.
Yeah.
Units.
They look like a band.
They look like a band.
I just wish they would give us a name.
Yeah. Snatch Getter. I don't know. The Jiggling. I don't know what name we would do. Clams for Sale. Let's see. yeah, so Alice was talking to, she's kind of like a staff member with her band, with their band, the
Mm-hmm.
girl band. And then we have the manager that's getting bullied to all shit. Alice basically tells the Bacchus manager, watch my sister dunk on these stupid idiots who think that they can perform.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we already hate these guys enough, but we just had to turn it to 11. A rock pun. We had to go ahead and just make it even worse because one of them, I think it was the lead singer, grabs Alice and it's just like,
Yeah.
motherfucker, what'd you just say? I'm gonna kick your, and then up from the top turnbuckle comes Lisa with a steel chair. Takes a swing, doesn't hit him or anything. I'm pretty. Yeah, no, she just hits the ground and kind of like he dodges and moves out of the way and everything. But oh man, I was just like, if this was wrestling, she would be, she'd be good. She'd fit right in.
Yeah, this is why we like Lilies. And then that's when we get the Lalisa and Alice scene, because Alice was standing up for them and whatnot. So yeah, I mean that's about everything that happened in the episode. Like we're all set for our band to perform in front of this crowd.
They're ready. They look poised. They look ready. They're about to rock and melt a bunch of people's faces off. The girls in the crowd that are fans of Bacchus are just like, don't cheer no matter what.
To hate,
they're haters. They're literally disliking the video before they even watch it. They are getting ready to boo them hardcore. Like I could just imagine them performing. Boo! Oh man, but they're not gonna care. They're gonna rock. They're gonna melt people's faces off. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. That's about it for Rocka's latest Modesty. So it's a killer pass.
Sorry, Satsuki. I hate to do this, but no. I'm kidding. This has been a great surprise. It's been pretty solid. I've been enjoying watching this, and it's definitely a Yuri Bait series. It's a fun series. It's I love rock, so it adds that sort of coolness to it, and it's not a goofy where they just drink tea and eat cake kind of get together collaboration. I honestly feel like this feels like what it would be like if you were like trying to be in a band, trying to get your name out there. Like everything feels legit. I mean, obviously, yeah, you have the weird stuff that happens in it, but that's anime for you. What are you going to do? But I've been enjoying this. I'm passing it. We're going to ride this all the way to the end.
Yeah. I'm of the same mindset, so pass. Let me get ready for Apocalypse.
You pass this time.
All right. Apocalypse Hotel, episode 11. Yeah. This was
yes, sir.
This was a pretty straightforward episode.
Yeah. This episode is Yachio needed a day off, and she took that day off. The whole episode was her being on vacation, taking the day off. I was telling Sasuke this before we started the stream. It really felt like a silent film in a way, where we just heard music the whole time. No words, hardly ever spoken, and everything was just visually. And I think one of the greatest things you could do when it comes to storytelling is to tell a story with only your eyes, not so much, like your ears following it. My point is, it makes it universal when you can tell a story to where anyone of any language doesn't speak the language, they can look at something and it just jumps out to you and you're just like, wow, what a story. That's why I find like those are the hardest ones to make, but also unique. And that's what this episode was.
Yeah. I love this episode. It just feels like at this point the writers are just trying to kind of flex how great their storytelling is. Because this episode, it was really just what I got from it. It's just Yachio appreciating life and showing like the cycle of life also through her experiences going through town. Like one of the big drama points with this episode was the chip Yachio had that was damaged and needed to be replaced. And throughout the episode, she's looking for that chip. And at one point, it looks like, oh man, she's gonna fucking die, because she goes into like this old, I don't know, Metro PCS or something.
It looks like that, or an Apple iPod store, Apple store, whatever.
And she grabs the chip, and it's like, when that was broken, it's like at that point, I feel that was them trying to communicate to the audience, hey, it's probably over for her soon.
Yeah. Running on fumes.
Yeah. But she ends up stumbling upon another bot that looks just like her.
Crazy.
And she is able to use that chip to, I guess, we don't know the consequence of her not having that chip. We could just say that it's going to be bad. Like there was warnings of the hotel going down if she doesn't replace it. So we can imagine that she would die. She would have died, especially because the person she took the chip off, just, I guess, her life gave out. So we can imagine the same thing would have happened to Yachio. But I think that was, it's no coincidence that Yachio gets the chip from a dead life. I feel like that was supposed to represent, this could have been what happened to Yachio, but it didn't. But no, there was just a lot of different things that happened, with the animals and some of the places that Yachio went to.
She became Snow White.
Yeah.
she builds a fire and they all just flock to her like Snow White and the Seven Dwarves.
Yeah, they were chilling.
The
like,
house.
It was all kinds of animals there. I'm like, aren't y'all supposed to be beefing?
Yeah. There were bears, there were wolves, there were deer. None of them were eating anybody.
Yeah.
That just goes to show you that once humans leave, everybody don't want to eat each other.
They had the day off too.
So today's my day off. I'm not going to eat your ass. Tomorrow, though, that ass is fair game. But yeah, I just love just a lot of just the feels and just the look of everything. Just the desolate landscapes, the emptiness, the quiet, everything just destroyed. Just the end of humanity, just as this thumbnail says, and just all around. She's enjoying having her day off. She's a robot. We sometimes forget that, but she's enjoying life.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have life snuffed out over a virus. And it's almost kind of eerie as to just one of those things where it's not out of the realm of possibility of what could happen to humanity. Maybe not now, but like hundreds, if not thousands of years into the future.
But
humanity's gone and ruins are left.
Yeah, and it just shows the beauty in death, in that life is it's a cycle where it's just you think something's finite, but it just ends up being fuel for a next phase of something else. And we're in that next phase with Apocalypse Hotel, because I mean, we're still dealing with the aftermath of this apocalypse and humanity being pushed out and dying out. But in it, it's like you get to see all of this. You get to see the land flourish. There's no more skyscrapers and buildings. I mean, they exist and everything, but it's nothing else is being built. And it's kind of just like you get to see the agriculture and the environment thrive more. Animals are free. Like, we literally saw fucking Pegasus this episode. Yeah, but it just shows you, like, the beauty in what is supposed to be a catastrophic event, which is the apocalypse.
Yeah. The Crepper Storm says we got another bear sighting at KOA.
We can't escape the bear.
We cannot. I'm just saying, if we made a merchandise of like a stuffed animal, it would be a bear.
Bear with us.
Freaking A. I did also see whenever it's stupid. It just reminded me of the squirrels from Future Diary, but we saw some squirrels here in this episode, and I'm like, oh look, it's Uryu's pregnant squirrels.
Maybe that was a child. We're in the future. Maybe that's a child.
True. That's true. It's the great grandson or daughter. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Ponko for giving Yachio the day off. Good manager.
Yeah. She just said, "You've worked too long. You've exceeded all of your hours, and you need to take a day off." But nope. You are taking a day off. I don't want to hear anything about it. Yeah. Good for her for taking that day off. I love how we just had an absolutely horrid episode. And when I say horrid, I mean like 2 deaths this past episode. And then we transition into, well, that was crazy and uneventful. Yachio, you're taking a day off. This show is just so, not unhinged, but it's definitely just, it doesn't have a rhythm as far as like what you're going to expect. And I really like that because I really thought we were going to get into, because we were making up theories of what possibly happened and what, but no, it just turned into, let's have Yachio discover her inner peace and enjoy life and have her have a day off. And I wonder if that's going to lead to something, because at the very end of the episode, after we have this long, drawn out, just her just enjoying her day off, because I didn't even talk about the fact that I thought it was interesting how she just was kind of like trying to do what humans did when they were alive. I love the fact that it just kind of like showed the things that worked, and if they didn't work, she had a microphone in front of her and didn't even know what to do because it was something like karaoke, and she wasn't even singing. She's just like, what do I do with this? And then the very next scene, she's playing that pachinko or whatever it's called, where it's not even like, well, it's like a gambling game, but it's no real money, but you win like the marbles and shit, and she's like stone cold just like winning every fucking time. They're just falling out. I don't know, I just like that stuff.
You know what it is too? I feel with, especially with the gambling scene, it kind of showed you like how time wasting some of the activities that we do are. Like in terms of it not even being fun, because when she was changing clothes, that was a cool scene. But there was like the whole gambling thing. It's like, damn, people really waste their time on, and then they waste their time trying to get money, all this stuff, and then you really think like, what is the value of money truly? Obviously, we need it to live, but like when you're in this primitive world where that doesn't really matter. It's more of survival. You see how all of these things are so inconsequential and how useless it really is.
Yeah. In the great, just giant cosmos that is the universe, something as insignificant as just sitting in front of a screen, watching lights go off and stuff spitting out. I mean, you say that to an alien, and I'm talking about like the Greys of this all high and mighty, whatever. They would probably look at us and go, "Fuck, are you doing? What is the importance of this? Why do you even do this? Because it's fun. You call this fun." But no, that is a very good point, because I think that was prevalent and that was probably done on purpose, just very subtle when it comes to that, because as she's enjoying her life doing the regular things, there's probably a lot of things we do as humans that we waste a lot of time. Hell, I could right here.
Yep.
I'm guilty of it. I waste probably a shit ton of time on that damn thing when I could be doing other things that would be more beneficial to my life.
Yeah. I'm thinking about the scene where I don't know if it was coffee she was making, but it was such a funny scene.
I think it was coffee or like tea or something.
Yeah. Then she drank it. She was like, all right, yeah, this is not good. But
I don't like the taste of my spit.
I think was that. Oh,
It's pretty short.
I mean,
Well, I say short, but it's a regular length, but it felt short.
yeah. Yachio got a cross-eyed function, which is fun.
Oh, right, because of the Pegasus.
Yeah.
She got bit by a Pegasus, which gave her the cross-eyed function. I love these little hidden achievements that just come out of nowhere. And she's just like, doing the cross-eyed. Why? I don't know.
Idea. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. But it is one more episode of the show.
Is it 12 episodes?
Yes, 12.
Wow.
Yeah, one more.
How are they gonna end it?
We couldn't predict any episodes that happen, so
No.
there's no way we're gonna know how they're gonna end it.
The next episode is gonna be nothing but just like Yachio on her fucking deathbed because they can't fix her, and then it's just gonna be mega tears because all the robots are gonna be dead.
I feel like that's too predictable. I feel like it's going to be like some Fight Club thing that happens. It got to be something that we just don't believe is going to be.
She transforms back into a tank and then just has an epic Gundam fight with something. I don't know. We can't predict this fucking show.
Yeah, and that's a good thing because I think every episode has just been a welcome surprise where we're like, all right, we didn't see that direction happening, but we're here and we're happy we're here. The Crepin Storm said, if someone could predict the theme of Apocalypse Hotel episodes, I want them to tell me the lottery numbers. Yeah, it's out there. One more. Man.
One more. And I mean, is it a killer pass? Yeah, but at that point, we're going to watch it anyway. So unless they make a second season of this, but I don't know. I can't see this getting another season just because the only reason I say that is because it looks like they got a pretty sizable budget just for this particular season.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know how well this series is doing or if people are going to want more of it, but yeah, I really have enjoyed this. I don't know how it's going to end. I hope it's not lame. I wanted at least semi-decent. Give me a semi-decent ending and I'll be happy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see how this whole thing ends. If it does have a season 2, would love to see it. If it doesn't, I'm thoroughly satisfied with what we got because it's probably the last time we're going to say this, but we didn't have any expectations. We did not know what the hell we were getting ourselves into with the show. We just thought it looked weird. And it ended up being one of the best shows of this season, and in my opinion, of this year thus far.
One last thing before we let this one go. We got another brought up shampoo hat.
Oh, yeah.
We got another shampoo hat because she checked into a room.
Stains, none. Mold, none. Droplets, none. It's something else before that. Before that, it is shampoo hat.
It's just like, I'm not working.
Yeah, that was another interesting thing. Her trying to be comfortable with relaxing because she's just so accustomed to, doing the hotel thing.
That's all she knows.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are tonight's entertainment, as the Joker said. We are here to talk about The Future Diary episodes 23 and 24. And we are entering into the final countdown when it comes to the series. And this is I definitely feel like we always just get we're always left saying this. Man, if you thought it got worse, it gets worse. Oh man, if you think it was terrible, wait till you. I feel like every week we say that. And I'm not even saying that's just a bullshit. I don't even know what's going on with this damn series anymore. But Murmur is now the death god. She inherited the powers of Deus Ex Machina, and the little midget girl that we all love in the after credits is just she's a powerful god now. Just like we all predicted. Where do we begin? It fried your brain, I can tell.
these two episodes, man. Here's the thing. I didn't even feel like these episodes were worse than last. And it may be because we watched 3 episodes, because it's like the more episodes you watch, the more the show breaks you down as a human being. So like, considering we watched 2, maybe that's why I feel a little better about these episodes. But yeah, we start off with Murmur being, having the power of Deus Ex Machina. Which is like, all right, that's cool, I guess. The world is ending. It's like these wormhole things are opening up, or like the portals opening up and buildings being destroyed. So everything's going to shit.
Yeah.
And that's how the tone starts. It starts off very dire, very horrific, and serious. It proceeds to completely flip that 4 minutes into it, and not in a good way, not in like the Apocalypse Hotel way, to where it just really feels like they have your emotions on the string. This series just turns into a slice of life rom-com 4 minutes into it, with Yuki and Yuno doing bath spa couple time
in a drum keg fucking thing.
I was like, what the fuck is this? What are we doing?
Didn't the last episode end on this absolutely detrimental, epic, like, confession? Like, look at the phone, look at what this, and we're just like, nah, let's just chill.
And that's my big problem with Yuki within episode 23. Because what ends up happening, I won't get to the big part yet, but what ends up happening is Yuki begins to have doubts about Yuno. He starts to think back about some things, and he's like,
I think she's crazy.
Yeah. Like, he kept thinking, why was his friend, were his friends right about Deus Ex Machina saying that he can't bring back his mom and dad? Could actually be trying to kill him? It doesn't really make sense why she would try to kill him now, considering everything is ending anyways. So he's just like, what's he's trying to make sense of everything. My issue with, because I'm like, all right, wow, he's actually starting to have doubts. That's a good thing. But he never doubts, at least from what we saw up until the big thing happens. He never doubts why the hell Akise gave him that message. And that was my problem. And I know why the show didn't do it. Like, I know why the show didn't do it. They did it so that they could tease the big thing happening and then have him think back to that moment of like, oh no, he was right. Because he did it, he thought about it last second, and then the big reveal happened, right? But I'm like, that would be the only thing in my mind if the guy that liked me and seemed to have my best interest in mind, every single point, he is the one person that is trying to make sure I'm okay. He may be kind of like a sexual harasser, but that's beside the point. I mean, sexual harassment, literal killer who also sexually harasses people. Yeah. So the guy who has your best interest in mind sends you his dying message. He sent it while his head was already in the other direction. And you don't think about that until the big reveal happens. Like the whole time he's thinking back to, oh, I killed my friends and I did this. I'm like, all right, cool. Think about the big thing that happened where the guy said, hey, because they did the reason why we didn't get that reveal, because we didn't know what the phone said up until the big reveal. Mm-hmm. But it was just to string the audience along to not reveal that message, because realistically, Yuki should have been thinking about why he gave him that message in the first place. The message literally says, hey, this is actually from the future, and she won the first death game. And then it's like, okay, with that in mind, is the winner of the first death game. This is not the real from this world or whatever. And then him asking the question, why was she trying to kill me? You don't put 2 and 2 together?
I mean, I think Decrepit Storm nails it on the head right here. Akise's revealed twice, and both times they ignored it at the start of the next episode. Like, what the actual fuck?
Yuki, she's not who you think she is.
Yuki, she's not who... I don't give a shit. Yuki, with my head flying the fuck off, she's not who she thinks she is. Now I'll think about it. What in the actual fuck? That is so... again, everything's just a plot convenience. Everything is just done just so that it can just work itself out for this stupid fucking ending. And it's just... It makes no sense in the grand scheme of things. It just... it's dumb. It's terrible. And there's no rhyme or reason behind it other than to just... let's have this epic thing that happens at the end with Yuno and Yuki. Yeah, like we didn't already or like Ikise didn't already tell Yuki what the truth was. Mm-hmm. That's the thing that's even more insane when you really think about it. He had the truth right here on the phone. He read it. But he had to have Murmur explain it to her or to him what he already texted him and showed him in his face. Yeah.
He's like, how is this possible? I mean, if she
literally had a message telling you that that's what it was.
It's bad, and
it's terrible.
It's to string us along so we can play towards the twist. They want this big. That's my problem with Future Diary. It's like they just want this big. It's like boxing, In boxing, you got to have your jabs. You got to have your hooks. You can't just have a knockout punch every time. Future Diary,
you wear yourself out.
Future Diary wants that knockout punch so bad that it ignores everything else. It's literally just haymakers after haymakers. It's like, all right, Oriole's a fucking god. Yuki's from the, or Yuno's from the future. It's like, okay, but you're getting punched in the stomach everywhere else because you keep trying to go for these big twists, and then some of these twists don't even hit.
No,
it's like, okay, it's like you land one of those and the person just goes like Dragon Ball Z or something.
Right. Just takes the hit and goes, okay, my turn. Yeah, it's bad. Yuki and Yuno have sex, and then all of a sudden,
say it. This is what Yuki's mom always wanted. I know she's looking.
She's looking down on him having sex. Yeah, Hercules. Yeah.
That's my son.
Boy. Oh, be sure to take care of that part too. Ladies love it when you do that. Oh, God.
She was probably happier.
She
was probably happier than Yuki the way she was talking.
Yeah. I know. She's just like, oh my God, he actually had sex with a woman. So happy. I'm glad I'm dead so that I could see this. Because if I was alive, I never would have been able to see this.
Don't bring me back, Yuki. I want to experience these moments.
I'm happy. This is eternal bliss. But yes, they have sex, and that happens. Good for them. All of a sudden, after they have such wonderful, wonderful sex with each other, pulls out a fucking axe, and it's just like, what? I always bring this to bed with me. You crazy?
Where did the axe come from? They literally
where it came from. That was foreplay. That was hidden the whole time. Looking for this? What's under this hat?
So before she grabs the axe, Yuki does the stupid thing where he's like, I guess, you know what? I'm gonna give him an excuse here. He was in the moment. He's doing the whole
post-nut clarity.
Yeah, he was doing the whole pillow talking thing. It's like, all right, now he's just saying shit. He's like, oh man, this is great. I can't believe Akise said that you were from the future and then that you won the first death game and that you're probably going to kill me after we have sex.
Isn't that crazy?
What do you got the axe for?
I always bring it to bed with me. I'm using it to clean off my my cuticles. Everybody uses it for cuticles.
That sounds plausible. The future diary just says dead end. No, whatever.
No, whatever. But then he continues to talk, and then that's when Yuki was like, "You know what? I think I believe what Akise said. I mean, I know he told me this like a week ago. I don't know. My days are just running together. I don't give a shit. But I think what he's saying is true." And then, big twist, everybody, get ready. Where's the drum roll? Here's the drum roll. Tries to kill Yuki. Oh no!
Couldn't see that coming.
Oh, dude, that was a shock and a half. I was literally like, my God. And was like, you just had to ruin it, didn't you? We were this close to our perfect ending.
Here's the thing, though, because EA originally it was a fake out, because she grabbed the axe and then just put it in the ground. I was like,
"Yep,
okay." And then Yuki keeps talking.
Chop some wood after this.
Yuki keeps talking, and then she actually tries to kill him. And then I was like, okay. In retrospect, what was the point of the fake out? She tried to kill him like 2 minutes after that scene. What the fuck?
I mean, nothing more than just a stupid ass fake out. Tries to kill Yuki. Murmur comes in and goes, "Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is Murmur. M to the UMR." But takes him into this room, room that is now hers, but used to be Deus Ex Machina's. I don't know, some kind of fucking thing. And Yuno's like, "Don't listen to that bitch. Don't listen to her. She's a liar."
Which is confusing because how the hell would she know what she's saying?
But it's also dumb with that. But then at the same time, we find out later they kind of work together.
It doesn't make any sense, EA. Because
it doesn't make any sense. They work together.
Yeah, because later, this is jumping ahead, but fuck it. Who cares? Deus Ex Machina goes, Murmur is the servant of Yuno because she won the first death game, so she's actually a god. And I'm like, okay. And then later she announces that Yuno's the winner despite Yuki still being alive. So I'm like, wait, what? And then she tries to kill Yuki. So I'm like, wait. If you wanted him dead and you were serving Yuno the entire time, Why did you show him all that shit? What was the point?
It was nothing more than just to show the epic twist that Ikise already figured out 2 or 3 episodes ago, and they did it in this They wanted to show us her backstory as to how she did it, even though this all could have been done in a flashback, and it didn't even have to have been shown the way that it did. It could have literally been a flashback. But that was all that scene was for. Nothing more than just, hey, here's Yuno. She actually didn't, because they both did the whole lover's suicide thing. She spit out her pills. And then, oh no, ultra twist, Yuno goes to this world that Yuki's in right now, the second world, and kills the Yuno that is in that world.
Mm-hmm.
Thus explaining what Ikise already explained and found out many episodes ago, that it was not a twin thing. It was the same DNA. It's because it was actually her. She killed herself, which that's a confusing all within itself anyway, because of the whole time space continuum bullshit. But whatever. I guess this is not that kind of time travel.
Also, Yuki was very surprised. He was horrified that killed the from this world. And I went, that's the part that appalls you, that shocks you. She literally is willing to kill you, and you are the only person she loves. She doesn't even love herself. Why are you surprised that she would kill a different timeline version of herself? And then they do
this woman is batshit crazy. Why is that a shock?
And then they try to do this emotional manipulation thing where I don't was it this episode? I don't remember. But
the
yeah, the from the second. No. The from the second world writes on the wall, help me.
Yeah, that was the other episode.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll stop talking.
Yeah. No, it's okay. No, wait, no. It was this episode. It was at the very end, because that was the reveal. And then remember, Murmur was doing the Christmas Carol thing where you could see everything, but you couldn't touch nothing. And that was this episode where she wrote the help. I take that back. And then that's what did the whole, at the very end.
And my whole thinking was, okay, so now they're doing this thing to where it's like Yuki has to save the past, the one that was untainted by this death game and free of corruption. And the whole time I'm thinking, she already killed her parents. Like, what are we talking about? It's not like she was this innocent girl.
Yeah.
Like, granted, I understand why she did it, because they were abusive, but that can't be ignored. You know what I mean? They're treating it like, all right.
She was this innocent, like there was no corruption in her mind, anything like that. She was just sweet, innocent flower. Yeah. I agree. But no, she was evil, not evil, but she killed people from the get-go. So she had blood on her hands, literally, and wasn't that innocent. She
was already broken before all of the events. I mean, the reason why she kills her parents is because of how broken she is. So if they did it at a point before that happened, I think that would have been better. But they do it after her parents are already dead, which makes me go like, all right, so you're just saving the who's still a killer?
But Satsuki, you don't understand. This didn't try to kill me.
I guess not.
This doesn't even know my fucking name.
And she's asking
but
for
I
help.
Must save her. Yeah. She's writing the word help on the wall because she can hear you, even though Murmur just said it's impossible for them to hear you or even touch them. So I guess that was some kind of miracle.
Listen. I don't know what the fuck. I will say the thing that I found interesting, and it's only like one thing, is when Yuno and Yuki make the lovers suicide pact in the first world, I thought Yuno's decision to just like trick Yuki was like, I understood it because it was like, from her perspective, she's like, there's no point in both of us dying. If you're not going to be willing to kill me, I'm going to become God so I can relive these moments together, because she's so broken. The only thing she thinks about is how to stay with Yuki. So because she can't bring Yuki outright back in their world, she decides to hop timelines and just relive this moment again. So I found that motivation interesting. I mean, that is too why she tried. That's what initiated her killing Yuki, is when Yuki went like, he kind of reneged on the idea of killing her. And that's when she decided to go, all right, if you're not going to kill me, then fuck it.
Then I'll kill you, sweetie.
Yeah. So yeah, that was basically the whole idea. So, but
and then we get the epic Yuno yell at the end of the episode. Yoda! Literally just screams for Yuno, and then the episode ends. Into episode 24. And oh my fucking God. They just don't care anymore.
they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a fuck. This episode is when I feel like the mangaka was like, fuck it. I have a deadline to reach. I'm just going to start pulling shit out of my ass, and I don't care who likes it. And oh my God. This. Okay. Where do we want to start? Murmur locked a part of Yuno's memory. That's convenient. That's very convenient when it came down to the whole time traveling thing and battle royale and all that shit. Very convenient.
I will say, in future Diary's defense, don't get used to that statement being said.
Satsuki. Defendant of Future Diary, present your case.
They have shown that Yuno had memory lapses. Like, remember when she dug the hole and she didn't realize, she didn't remember why she was digging the hole. So like they did show like there was a part of her memory that was just off. Like she was doing things that further her mission or to do something that she herself didn't quite understand, because Akise thought that Yuno was just being deceptive, but she genuinely did not know why she was digging a hole, and that's because her memory was locked with her memories of the first Death Game, which I guess would also explain why she didn't know certain things about this Death Game, because you would think with knowledge of the first Death Game, she would know the participants, right? She would know the Killer Kid is a Future Diary user. She would know the mayors, she would know all of that. But because her memory is locked, like you said, super convenient. But that's why she didn't know a lot of events until this point. So
yeah. But then it all came rushing back, and she's just like, oh, that's right. I'm a god now. Yuki versus Yuno, anime battle, fight. It's so stupid. Then Yuki gets pushed off, and he's like, I'm gonna save you, Yuno, and I don't care who knows it. Even though Yuki, you're batshit crazy, and 1 minute ago, I found out you killed the real Yuno, but I'm going to save you because reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, he gets knocked down. He climbs back up, has this trash speech, and Murmur is about to kill him with like the Frieza death balls. And that's when the greatest thing happens, which is
best fucking thing that happened to this series. I'm not even lying. Oh my God. Where's that drum roll button again? Here we go. Uryu is back, bitches, and he saved Yuki from dying. Yeah, that's right. The same person that blew themselves up, Vegeta style, to just self-sacrifice shit. She's alive now.
Oh, and has the power of a god like Murmur.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. That you're right, Sasuke. That slipped my mind. She is now a god. She, that secret meeting that her and Deus Ex Machina had.
Yeah, when he fisted her.
When he went fist deep inside her, literally. This is the part where I'm just all kinds of confused and just pissed. But so he gives her the powers because he likes her take on religion or something, or the faith, or just how hateful. Like, I don't know. It's something stupid. It's supposed to be because she's a terrorist or something.
He was like, "You really don't believe in God. You're perfect for God powers." I'm like,
no.
The terrorist. It always goes back down to that. Why does the terrorist get so much benefits of the doubt from other people? It's like the police guy's like, well, she may be a terrorist, but she has a good heart, so I'm gonna.
But she's got some nice tits, and I want to marry her.
I wasn't even talking about him. I was talking about that's the funny thing, because you can bring that with two people. But yeah, he abandons his morals and says he wants to marry her. But I'm talking about Kurusu, who's like, he works with her in the first place, knowing that she's a terrorist, being a cop himself, having morals and stuff. I know he's playing a death game, but there were some things that he wasn't willing to do. But he's like, fuck it, I'll work with her because she actually has like some type of moral fiber. And I'm like, how? She bombed children. Like, what isn't she willing to do? That's my question. Because they're not really clear on that.
This is the part where I think if you change her character and insert someone else, it makes the scene a little better. Akise should have been the one to do this.
Yes.
Not Uryu.
Yes.
And I believe it wholeheartedly, because we find out in a stupid way that Akise was created by Uryu. I'm sorry, by Deus Ex Machina. It makes sense for him to give his powers to him, and this is a guy that wants to actually save Yuki. That would make it justifiably better, and it would make more sense. But this guy wants to put Uryu in here because he has a boner for this fucking character and likes her so much.
And two, with the Akise point, he genuinely loves Yuki. Like, if anything, you could at least cleanse this show's idea of what love is by showing that, I mean, maybe true love can prevail, at least one that's a lot more healthier than Yuno and Yuki's. But instead, like you said, Uryu comes back because he just likes Uryu. He just loves this character. And it's like, it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not, or if it connects thematically. It's just, all right, I want to put her in this situation. It looks cool. I don't want her to die. Fuck it. You back Uryu. But like you said, it makes all the sense in the world for Akise to be in this position rather than Uryu. Especially because Akise wasn't human to begin with. It would make way more sense in our minds, at least, that he didn't die from getting his head cut off, and he would have had a lot more, or Deus Ex Machina would have had a reason to trust him with the power because he knows who he is because he created him. But instead, he gives his power to a terrorist.
Always comes back to that. But yes, Satsuki, he likes her take on religion and that she's not. That she's an atheist, and just gives her all the powers for no fucking reason. Akise would have been a much better choice. It would have made much more sense. Again, this show sucks. Just gonna flat out just say it. It's terrible, but at least there would have been a modicum of just where it made sense right then and there, and I would have been pulling for him. I would have been like, Akise, yeah, let's see him do this. But instead, we got to go with the hot terrorist because she's hot. and looks hot and is drawn whatever.
And then it's the idea of like why is Uryu doing this? If
Again,
everything makes sense. It's so funny. Everything makes sense if Akise was in a situation, but with Uryu being in a situation, nothing makes sense. Why is she saving Yuki?
I don't have anything else better to do, is what she said. That's the reason she's saving him. Well, I got nothing else better to do. Superman.
Oh, my
That's
God.
great writing. Great writing, mangaka. Why are you saving him? I don't give a fuck. That's what I'm saying. At this point, he's just like, I'm just going to make my ending. I don't care who likes it. Just doesn't give a shit anymore.
This is why you can't fall in love with your creations.
Seriously,
he
let him
loves
die.
He loves Uryu. He absolutely
does.
loves Uryu. That's why he keeps trying to convince the audience that she's a good person, or she's a person that is troubled but has a good foundation to her. And I just keep referring back to the second episode because you can't really erase that for me. You know, it's not one of these situations. You're not Vegeta for Dragon Ball Z, because Vegeta himself will acknowledge that he did some bad shit. But with Uryu, it's like I guess she will acknowledge that she done some bad shit, but it's like other people won't bring that up. Nobody will bring up the fact that she bombed children, except the bully guy.
They will coddle her like a fucking child. But right, the bully guy is the only one that has the nutsack to go up to her and say, "You bombed children. You bombed my school. Fuck you. Why should I help you?" And then they look at him like he's the jackass.
Leave Uryu alone.
Leave her alone. She's just an innocent terrorist with one eye.
Innocent terrorist.
I know. That word in itself, that sentence structure, doesn't make any sense. Just like this whole episode.
Oh my God.
I literally forgot all about that. And when I saw the fact that she came up and was flying like Superman into the whatever room they're in to save Yuki, I was like, you gotta be shitting me. You have got to be shitting me. This is awful. Makes no sense. You gotta let your characters die, man. You gotta let them die. Akise, better choice.
She just doesn't have agency to warrant her saving Yuki in this moment. You can make an argument, okay, and in her last moment, she respected Yuki enough to, you know, when she was dying, try to help him, whatever. Even though that still doesn't apply, because she said herself that bomb was going to go off when her heart stopped anyway, so that wasn't something that she just willingly did. It would have went off no matter what because she died, or we thought she died. I still don't understand how that whole thing works exactly, but because if you remember in that scene, Dad says he like teleports her before the bomb goes off, and
he just grabs her, yoink.
And I'm thinking like, wait, doesn't the bomb go off when she dies? So wouldn't she have been dead at the point that he grabbed her?
And not only that, didn't a bomb go off in real life? Where'd the explosion come from? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He pulled her out and the bomb supposedly blew up. But there was no bomb.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that doesn't make sense, because it's like either he grabbed her before she died from the bomb, or the bomb went off with her being at the base of it because it's in her body, but she still survived, or the bomb never went off and everybody just imagined it.
Yeah, right. Somebody just fucking had a wonderful night at Jack in the Box, or I don't know, Burger King. It's like someone blew up the bathroom.
Oh my God. What's good, Ellie?
Yeah. Or hey, Ellie, you're here kind of in time. We're kind of towards the end of episode
Yeah.
24, but I guess we could speed run it to the end. They Murmur and Yuno go back in time for a third time, but this time they go back 2 years, and freaking Uryu and Yuki follow, and this is stupid. Uryu takes Yuki directly to Yuno's house, and Yuki just decides to do everything completely and totally wrong because Uryu's like, listen, follow my instructions and you'll be okay. Fuck your instructions. I know you helped me and you saved my life, but I'm gonna save Yuno. Even though I don't know this one, but I can't let it. Dumb.
EA,
Dumb.
mind you, Yuki doesn't have the powers of God or anything of the sort, but he's still traversing the world and whatnot.
I mean, till we find out at the very end of this episode. Don't you remember? He floats up like fucking Goku and is just like, I have powers now.
Well,
but I guess before that, I'm sorry. Before that.
The point I was about to bring up is that
I'm sorry.
Yuno is doing all of this because she wants to be with Yuki, and she is willing to let him die in the first world so she could go on the different hop timelines and be with start over their relationship or whatever. But if it was as easy as she could just grab him and then go back in time, why did she just do that in this current timeline?
Yeah.
Because seemingly Uryu could just go back in time with him and they could just live there. Like, I'm just like, okay, what? I'm just like, what?
I mean, if she wants to like postpone the date from happening, whatever, why doesn't she go back in a time when she knows that none of them will be fucked with? Like, she goes back, I don't know, 100 years into the past, builds a wood cabin out in the middle of the woods, and lives happily ever after, grows old with Yuki, and has a family, does everything you could possibly think. Just the normal shit. But no, that doesn't happen either. She goes, 2 years, that's good enough. Let's just do that. Because technically, yeah, that would be true if she wanted to do that. Yeah. Just so bad. So
yeah, it makes
so
you
dumb.
It makes you think, like, why does she have to go back in the timeline where the future where this death game exists in the first place? Like, why wouldn't she go back early? Like, I know, like, she went to school with Yuki at this time period, but she could just go back earlier in time and then meet with him again, or earlier than she met him before, and then, I don't know, try to form a real connection with him. But it's like she just decides to soft lock herself in a world she knows she's doomed, and in a world where she doesn't even spend that much time with Yuki. It's like a couple months, really. So it's like you have the power of God, but you use it to go back 7 months in the past.
Yeah. I mean, Ellie even says it too. Mind you, they are in an alternate timeline right now where they could just assume new identities. Which, yeah, totally. For somebody who's a god and all powerful and almighty, it's kind of stupid.
Just a little.
Just a little pea brain. But yeah, I don't even remember what happened at the end. I just know he grabs her. Murmur pushes him in that hole, that infinite fucking abyss hole. But he gets the power from his dead friends that he murdered to go back up and fight. And he just starts floating, pulling a Saiyan, just coming up from the ashes like the phoenix. And that's how the episode ends.
Midnight. You can't say that. You know why? Even if you believe the death game was always going to be a thing, which it shouldn't be, because the whole reason this death game exists is because Deus Machina needs to find a successor. It doesn't need to be through a death game. So wait, hold on. Give me 1 second. 1 second.
All right. He's going to find some evidence for y'all. I will keep y'all entertained. So, yeah, wonderful show. We have 2 more episodes left of Future Diary. Next week, we have episodes 25 and 26. And no, I don't know who posted the question. It may have been you, Midnight. We're not watching the OVA. Screw the OVA. We're just going to be done with it. Maybe I'll watch the OVA on my own time. But no, I'm not going to. I may watch it, but I don't think we're going to watch it as a collective here on KOA. In fact, I know we're not. But
all right,
yeah, Satsuki, welcome on back. Where we talk about the death game.
Yeah, I was saying. The reason that doesn't work is that Sasuke will come flying back with Uryu. What I was saying was I don't remember his name. 11th? Was it 11th or was it 12th? The mayor.
Can't remember. Oh, I think it was 11th. Yeah.
Yeah, the mayor is the one who created the Future Diaries. So it's like, no, you can say the death game was always going to be a constant, but it didn't need to be in the form that we saw it, because it was literally created by some other guy that for some reason Deus Machina decided to take advice from. I still don't understand why he decided this random mayor guy is going to be the person to make such a big decision. Like, what connection did he have with them prior to him going to him for advice? It's like, hey, you look important. You want to help me out with something? Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
What Shonen Pro Tag could you take in a death battle? I don't know. Somebody who's a lolly. Whatever lollies out there, I could take.
A death battle? I mean, if I could pick Danganronpa, it's some people in Danganronpa I can beat up.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. But I believe that was the shit show. I was telling them we have 2 more episodes to go, 25 and 26, and then we are done with the Future Diary. And we can cleanse ourselves and take shots. We're like Frodo at the end of Lord of the Rings. It is done. And he just looks so defeated and just beaten up and dirty. Yeah, that's watching the Future Diary is like taking the ring of power to Mount Doom.
Yeah. That's episode 24. We're almost done. We're almost done, people.
2 more left. 2 more left. Well, that's it for Future Diary. We have viewer questions, everybody. Viewer questions. And we got 5 again. They're coming in 5s this every week. So let's go back and forth. Satsuki, you could take it this time, and then I'll take the other one, and back and forth.
It's the first time I've done something like this.
I started last week, so you get to start this week.
All right, I'm excited. Which anime setting would make the worst place to live in, but would be fun to visit for a day?
That's an interesting question.
Pokemon.
Ooh. Yeah.
Pokemon is like the zoo.
They have nothing but they have nothing but 10-year-olds just going out, leaving houses, living on their own. You are right though. It is like a zoo. You just walk outside, you just see Caterpies and Butterfrees just outside. You're like spraying them. Get out of here.
Yeah, but
you're supposed to catch them.
Living in that world, no, I don't want to get jumped by like a Pidgeotto or something. and die.
You get picked up by one. They would just grab you, and you would never be seen again. You would never be seen again.
They have literal dinosaurs in that show. Like I'm
do.
good. I'm good.
They have legendary birds that shoot ice and fire from their fucking mouth. That would be scary now that I think about it. I mean, they make it seem so fun. That's terrifying. There's a lot of kidnapping that happens in that show. Like, Team Rocket goes around kidnapping people.
Yeah, I mean, people have died in Pokemon in the manga.
Really?
Yeah, there's been deaths.
Damn.
Mm.
Worst place to live in, but fun to visit. Trying to think. I'd be curious to go into the world of DBZ for a day. One where it's like, listen, if it's a filler arc, not one of those where a fight and people are actually dying because it's just one day.
You are risking a lot.
Well, I get to see sensu beans and capsules. I would love to see what those were like. Get my own kind of whatever.
I don't know.
Go to a tournament for a day just to see people fight. You just eat your popcorn, just like, oh, this is fun.
But even going to those tournaments, you might die.
Okay. Pre-Goku.
Pre-Goku.
You go pre-Goku because anything with Goku and all his friends there. Because there was 3 tournaments in Dragon Ball. He turns into a monkey. They blow the fucking ring out with Tien, and then forget about it with Piccolo. That whole thing just went up.
Yeah, so you had to go to the 20th Budokai Tenkaichi.
Yeah, at least that for a day. Enjoy some popcorn, enjoy some food. Go to a festival. Get to see what it's like to live with dinosaurs and cat people and all these creatures. But again, not go on a day where Frieza shows up or some weird shit. Just get me to a filler episode and I'll be happy.
Oh my god. All right. The next one.
Oh, next question. Sorry. What are some of your favorite moments from the KOA from KOA and the KOA shows? There's a lot for me.
I will say this is the one that I always remember. I just laugh thinking about it, and sometimes I go back and watch it. It's when we were watching Adachi 2 Shimamura, and then EA did the impersonation of the I forgot her name, the alien girl.
Yeah,
that moment had me dying laughing. The reason
classic.
It's so funny because if you got, a lot of people here probably didn't watch it with us, but it's so funny because if you watch the show, it comes out of fucking nowhere. She just does it for no reason. She just does a little dance and does it, and even the characters are confused within the episode. And then we were watching it confused.
Yeah, I remember watching that, and I literally dropped, my jaw dropped. I was like, "What was the point of that?"
And she does it twice.
Yeah, she does it super close, runs away, is super far away, like at the gate, and then does it again, and then goes away. And the little girl's just like,
huh?
Like you could see her face too. She's just like, "What's that? Why did she do that? I don't understand." That is indeed a classic. God, there's just so many that I just can't narrow it down to just one. But the 100th episode where I just get drunk and I'm so incoherent is hilarious. Satsuki, this is when we first got to know each other, and he did his rap. "You can find me at your bitch's house." Was so funny. And then he did the sermon for what the fuck's that show called? Where they're Kakaguri? No. What's it called?
Kakaguri.
No. Is it the Love War? Love is War?
Oh, Kaguya.
Kaguya-sama. Thank you. When you did that one, that was classic. And then there's like a bunch with C tactics for me. Just the cuckening, just saying random words just to be hip and cool, and us getting pissed off at it.
I also think back to the what's that? The Inuyasha spinoff.
Oh, not Inu.
Yeah, it was
Yashihime.
Yashihime. I always think about the pancakes with the dirty water.
That was great. I love that. The Yashihime was great. C Tactics discovering the soundboard and me not hearing it and you going, "What the hell's going on?" And I'm just like, "What? How do you not hear that?" So many classics.
Like every X-Arm.
Oh my god. X-Arm being atrocious and us just dissecting it going, "What is this shit?"
And then there was this is the last one. There was a classic of me explaining why I liked Hayase from To Your Eternity.
Yeah. That was good too. It's like, hey, she's a little evil. Nothing wrong with that.
It was like this long monologue where I was like, I know she's not a good fucking person. I don't know why I am the way I am. I had to find that one. But yeah, those are some moments.
So many good classic moments. I love it. Okay, next question.
What are some manga / TV / books / etc. you're keeping up to date with?
And I'm guessing this is not just manga too, because when you say TV and books,
anything that you're keeping up to date with.
Manga doing One Punch Man till they went up to till they did their hiatus, so can't really do much there. But I was keeping up with the manga and Watamote.
Yeah,
I do keep up with that. I still need to catch up with a few, but I'll be caught up after a while. But those two with the manga, TV. I don't do Rick and Morty. I watch it whenever I can, but it's usually just to like look at it and go, "This show's falling off." I don't know if there's many others that like keep up to date. Like it's a long running series.
Yeah.
No.
I think the only thing I'm truly caught up with, because even with Watamote, I'm a couple chapters back. I think the only thing I'm truly caught up with, as far as everything, I mean, I guess The Boys technically, but I
guess I keep up with that too.
Yeah. But Kakaguri is one that I'm caught up with totally. And probably like some of my other like obscure girls love series. I can't even name all of them, but yeah, it's not much that I'm caught up with right now. Even like some of the stuff I really like Shadow's House, I'm not caught up with right now. Watamote, I'm not caught up with right now. And Vinland, I'm not caught up with. So
Storm says this wasn't even my question, but that reminded me. I had an idea a while ago to make some compilations of the best / funniest moments of KOA and upload them. Would you guys? Absolutely.
Oh yeah, you can.
Storm,
go for it.
You would know better than I because you keep up to date with the KOA lore when it comes to like when we did what. If you want to do that, I would be absolutely honored.
Yeah, we would appreciate that. It's because we're too lazy.
Yes, if you want to do that, be my guest. Trust me, we're not going to copyright or try to get you later. No, Decrepit Storm, you've earned being like a loyal like member, whatever part of KOA. So if you want to do that, please, I would love it to see that, and we would love to see that. Next question. Do you usually connect more with the main characters or side characters?
Ooh.
Honestly, it's whatever character is more interesting. Because there are shows where the main character is so dumb and boring, but the side characters are cool, and vice versa, where the main character is the only cool one, but all the side characters are very generic. So
Where do you tend to lean? Because I think that's more so the question.
Okay.
I feel like I'll just say for me, I feel like I've always leaned more towards the side characters.
Yeah.
Recently, though, a lot of main characters have been my favorites in series, and that usually does not happen.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been doing good with main characters lately, but I would say usually the side character, because the only reason I say that is because not typically, but kind of usually, maybe so back then, when it comes to the main characters, they would be one-dimensional. I want to hunt Titans. I want to... Not to say that Aaron's a bad character, because I really think in the beginning he was kind of one note and very generic, but he became an amazing character as the season went on. But, you know, they're usually kind of like a one hit where it's just like, this is their goal. This is what they want to do. I'm going to be the strongest. I'm going to this. But then you're more interested in the side characters because they're not very one-track mind. They're just kind of their own person. So I would say side characters I like more, but it really just depends on the character itself, because you could have these really good main characters, but the sides are just lame.
Oh,
So.
yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, there's not many shows I could say the main character. I mean, it is the question is more so connect with, but I feel like it's kind of in the same vein. I won't say there's a few. There's a lot of shows where the main character is my favorite, or I connect with them. I feel like I connect with them, but
Yeah,
it tends to be the characters that are like less of in the focus of the story. Because usually a main character, you know, just with the series that I usually read, with a lot of like shonen or slice of life, they have to be a certain way for them to push the story the way they want to. So that tends to kind of stifle what type of characters you get. Whereas with side characters, there's a lot more variety. So
yeah, and I feel like they've gotten a lot better with main characters. Not to say that they haven't in the past. It's just I feel like if your main character isn't good, I don't think people will tune in or read. I just think it's just you kind of have to have the main character interesting for you to watch. So,
all right, last question. Name 3 things you enjoy about Future Diary.
I can tell you one thing. It's almost over. That's one thing I enjoy.
Hey.
One thing I will say, compared to when I first originally watched this, I think I really like the dub better.
Oh.
And the only reason I say that is because Yuki sounded like a complete wuss in the Japanese version. Like, he's voiced by a woman, so he sounds more just like whiny and just a wuss, and he's just like, at least in the dub, because it's a guy that does his voice, he sounds more, I don't know, like, especially at the beginning, level-headed. Obviously, the show's terrible, but at least the voice acting, I think, was still in the golden age of, because this was Funimation. You could just tell by listening to all the voice actors. Like, this was still in the golden age of Funimation voice acting. So I enjoyed it. I thought the voice acting was good. So that's 2 things. Come back to me on the 3rd thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. The dub is good. I really like Yuno's voice, especially. Like, I feel like a lot of their lines are kind of corny, like when they like some of the pet names, Sweetheart, Snickums, Pookie, but I think it works for
the show.
Yeah, like you hear some of these lines like, ugh, but it definitely works for the show. So I think the dub is actually good. I like the first opening of the show.
Yeah, that's another thing I'd like to. The first opening, I don't want to say is iconic, but it's very memorable.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you hear the operatic at the beginning, you're just like, that's Future Diary. I know what I'm getting into when I when I hear that. So
Oof.
Okay, I guess if I want to do a realistic one instead of that it's almost over. Good dub, good first opening. Shoot.
Damn.
I know.
It's gotta be something in there.
It's like sifting through a pile of shit when you are just like, oh, there's a gold nugget in there. you're gonna find it eventually, but you have to put your hands deep, wrist deep in shit just to find it. Those are some made by company answers. No one is about Future Diary itself. What do you mean? The dub being good is not a company answer, but Midnight's he's a horny squid. So because if we're being realistic, the characters suck.
Well,
The plot and story sucks.
I think he's saying is because we're not praising the story, we're praising like the anime production. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's not really much. What are we going to say? I like Murmur as a character. No.
Yeah, right. I liked that one part where she looked like she drowned in the fucking spa. And they were like, "Oh, a dead midget."
I like. Just called her a midget. Yeah, but I don't think there's any character that I just outright like. I don't like Yuno. I don't like Yuki. I don't like Uryu. Akise's okay.
He's okay, but even then, they kind of butcher him. No pun intended. At the end of the series,
I'm not. This is not a joke. I am lost.
The animation looks good.
Does it?
It's actually okay. Other than Deus Ex Machina looking like CG piece of shit and all those, like circle balls flooming around looking like stupid. Like whenever they have like the kill moments or like the thing going into Uryu's eye, that looks good. I'll admit it. It looks good. Not great, not amazing, good. Like I would put it better than others because there are some animes that look like shit. And I don't know, it puts you out of the experience. So, what is this? What about the bully?
What was
they're talking about the best written character?
Kosuke. Yeah, because
he's decent, other than the fact that his hate for Yuki is just ridiculously like unwarranted and just out of control. I hate you because you have good grades. Okay.
I think the concept, like the overall concept of this being a death game and it surrounding, like the tools being supplied to everybody being Future Diaries, the concept of that is good. But yes, the inner workings of how everything works, even the Future Diaries themselves and how others navigate the death game isn't. So I think the concept of this, like the very base shell of this story is good. I think that's as far as I can go. I genuinely, this is not a joke. I'm not playing this up. I genuinely can't tell you anything that I think is good about the show.
Yeah, I got my 3. That's that's all I got. The intro,
I did kind of like Kurisu the Cryptstorm. Sorry, you.
Who was Kurisu again?
The cop.
Oh, that was the cop that before he butchered his characters. Will you marry me?
Yeah.
Oh no. Different guy.
The other one.
Yeah. Okay. He was decent up until he just kind of
gave up.
They just decided to make him crazy. My brother or son is sick, and Yuki, you're gonna be the one to become God.
I wasn't even mad at that. I was mad at the fact that he was working with Uryu. That's the only thing I didn't really like about his character. Because him taking a drastic turn and using the because he was one of the fucking few characters that use his resources kind of well. Now his resources apparently are nothing compared to who can just kill cops as if like that's their weakness. Middle school pink hair girls, but
yeah.
I mean, he
Oh
was.
no.
He
middle school pig. Run away.
What do I do? I can't shoot her. She's too cute. But
God.
I feel like he was at the peak of the show. I feel like after him, things truly go downhill. Like really, really, really go downhill. I think like there's barely any high points after his death.
You
So
guys got me creasing. What does that mean?
laughing.
Oh, creasing?
Mhm.
That's a different way to say it. I never heard that. Another answer not about the story. Who's the best written character? Not a lot of best written characters. The Decrepit Storm. Maybe decent, maybe passable, maybe okay. Other than that, there's not really a lot of good written characters in this series. They're all particularly bad.
The thing is, Uryu could have been a good character. They just made her go to the extreme in that second episode. Like if she just tried to kill Yuno and Yuki, like assassinate them. That's all it needed to change. If she tried to assassinate them rather than blow up a school, that would have changed the entire feeling around her character, because you made her completely sadistic and warped to the point where I can't realistically see her in this new like anti-heroic light that you're trying to put her in. It just doesn't fit the character that I saw before. And there was nothing that happened in the story, at least in my opinion, that warrant her gradual change throughout the series. Like she just changed really because the author was like, all right, I want her to be kind of like an ally to the main characters, but I still want to keep the integrity of her being like a badass. So I'm just going to write her as somebody who's kind of evil, but she does good and she has kind of morals. But it's like, wait, that doesn't fit with the second episode. So she could have worked if that second episode wasn't what it was.
I definitely feel like this series as a whole needed to have maybe, and I don't know the inner workings of it as far as like the writing and the character development, whatever. I'm assuming that the mangaka just did everything themselves. I don't know. But I definitely think if that's what they did, they needed to have somebody to kind of like oversee and kind of like give their opinions and say, does this really make sense? We should probably do it this way, instead of having a bunch of yes people just going, oh yeah, that totally works. Yeah, let her blow up the school. Yeah, no problem. Just going from there. Because I feel like there's a good show in there just waiting to be made. Maybe not great and maybe kind of like unique, but not in a bad way. It would just be more along the lines of, you know, what we would be expecting as far as like a good anime show to be. They just need to kind of like tweak a few things here and there, but overall it's just a bad show. They could have just did things so differently.
Yeah, that's all I got to say about it. So that answers all your questions. So if anybody else wants to ask questions for the next podcast, all you have to do is look at the link. The Google document will be there for you to submit your questions, and we'll answer it next week. So feel comfortable to ask away, because we will answer.
Yep.
Unless you're light ruler, then we might ignore it.
I haven't seen him ask any questions as of late. I haven't even seen him on the stream. He's been busy.
No, yeah, he's been absent from my server as well.
Dang, I wonder what happened to him. Hopefully he's okay.
Hopefully so. But yeah, y'all, that is about it for the podcast. A lot of our shows are going to be ending, so we're going to transition to the summer 2025 season pretty soon here. A lot of shows to watch, a lot of shows that we're looking at. You know, we'll announce that stuff probably in 2 weeks or so, because once next week shows in, because Rocka's Latest Modesty, Apocalypse Hotel, that's going to be over.
They will only have
just Lazarus. Yeah, because Future Diaries in the next week. So yeah, we'll just have Lazarus. So 2 weeks we'll have an announcement what we're watching, and as far as like the show that we picked that doesn't have anything to do with the current season, we'll figure that out. Really, EA has all the control over that because I'm the one that suggested this whole thing with Future Diary being in the pool in the first place. So EA has full control over that. So, but yeah, just look forward to that.
Man, yeah, this will be fun. I dropped in the links or in the comments section. We have a Blue Sky so that you know whenever we go live. We were supposed to go live yesterday, but little old me had some internet connection issues thanks to fucking Quantum Fiber. And y'all would have known that if you were following us, so be sure to click on that to follow us. We also have a Patreon, King of Anime. It's essentially just there for all content that we don't talk about on YouTube. We have all kinds of things over there. Going down the list here, we have a SpongeBob SquarePants movie appreciation, the KOA Pokemon celebration, Watamote celebration, the KOA video gaming special, Madoka Magica Rebellion, and the KOA Drunken Podcast. That's one specifically for me and Sasuke where we talk about all kinds of fun stuff that we did when we were drunk. Stuff that you may not know about because we don't talk about that on here. So only $1. You get to find that out for yourself, how much of a crazy bastard we become.
Wild time.
Yeah, that's those are the links there. Also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We do this every week. 581 subscribers, going strong. You guys are keeping it up. Appreciate it. And you guys tune in whenever we apparently talk about the Future Diary. Not to say you don't watch us any other time, but when we talk about Future Diary, you seem to really eat it up. So thanks for watching us and tuning in. And
why do you want to watch us suffer?
Oh, they love to watch people suffer. It's human nature.
Yeah. But appreciate everybody who joined us for today's podcast. Hope to see you next week. Y'all have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you may be. Also, I might as well say this. I will be streaming very soon.
Shortly
now.
after.
Yeah.
Nice.
Probably
Satsuki
about
the Savage on Twitch.
Yeah. Probably about 5 minutes. So if you want to check me out on my Twitch, there's my Twitch. Yeah, I should be streaming about 5 minutes or so. Streaming some. I'm not gonna say. But yeah, you guys have a good night. Peace and love from the KOA family. We out.